But what I want to ask is like, have you worked with any creepy photographers? Like, and has there been any that reached out to you? I gotta know because there's a lot of controversy with it, and there's been a lot of big stories with recently that have happened with photographers and models and stuff like that. So I kind of want to know, like, she's already laughing.
Yeah,
she got a lot of stories.
I mean, I'm laughing because it is kind of it's a important topic to talk about.
It is.
So if there's any models watching this, here's some tips.
Welcome back, guys. It is your boy Corey.
It's your boy John.
And this is the Artistry Drop, where we feature upcoming influencers. Everybody pretty much you guys want to talk to. We actually got an influencer today.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna talk to her a little bit, but it's almost New Year's.
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm hella excited. COVID really took I felt like a lot of our lives, so going into this new year and starting all over and getting things back to normal, I think is going to be a big year for a lot of people.
Yeah, facts. I agree with you. Do you have like any resolution?
To get a six-pack. That is my New Year's resolution.
That's probably going to take a couple more years.
No. I'm a little bit more ways than you are.
I mean, we'll see. I'm definitely not trying to build no muscles or anything. I did gain a lot of weight over COVID.
And he's a small one, guys.
I'm working on trying to get back to being skinny. So, that's definitely my New Year's resolution. Another thing is to cut drinking because I drink a lot and that's what gains me weight. So,
yes.
And this
you do.
Yeah, this guy knows I drink quite a bit. So,
yes.
But by the way, let's go ahead and get into the drink of the day.
All right, we got the drink of the day. This is a vodka sunrise. Basically, got some Cointreau vodka, simple syrup, put some grenadine in there and lime, and then topped it off with soda water and cherry. Pretty simple cocktail, but it's really delicious.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to try it, but we'll wait until we introduce our guests. So let's get into it. Guys, our guest today is a model based in LA. She was born and raised in a small town in Minnesota, but she moved to California when she was 15. Her modeling career sparked with doing pageantry and a few collaboration shoots. Currently, she is signed with Auto Models Agency in LA and is a third-year college student majoring in education. Her dream is to continue in pursuing the modeling as a full-time job. Guys, please welcome Seangthea. Let's go. Welcome to the show, C.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we call you C. So yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much like your second podcast, right?
Yes, it is.
Are you excited to be here?
I am. I'm actually really excited. I feel very professional, and I feel like ASMR is my calling now. Like, this feels very natural.
Might be a new avenue for you.
I know, it should be.
It just might. Yeah, no, we're honestly excited to have you here. You're pretty much like the first model we had.
Yeah.
Like, our previous guest, she was a singer, but she also does modeling, but you're like our first model. So we're excited to have you here on the show. New Year's is going to be coming up. Do you have any New Year's resolution?
Shit. I feel like everyone's basic resolution is just like get in shape.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
that's
it
mine
stops
already,
after like 3 months.
I know, not even. Like for me, it's like 3 days and I'm over it. I'm over it.
Like I hate the gym when you go in there in January and you're like, oh, these motherfuckers, you gotta wait for wait for every machine. I'm like, I can't wait until March hits and all you guys are gonna be gone. Yeah.
That's facts.
I don't know.
Have you not thought about it yet?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Are you going to think about it during the year as it progresses?
Probably. That's what I usually do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I haven't really thought too much about it. That's probably the only thing I've really thought about is, like, just, getting back to, being skinnier and stop drinking. But another big thing is, like, our career. Like, I definitely feel like, this year for us, we're trying to, build the Artistry Drop and, definitely push this thing out further, so
yes,
I'd say that's our New Year's resolution together.
Yeah.
Like, the goal is definitely to make this thing bigger by next year.
Right.
Have like big people.
Work on the studio.
Like, we need Chris Brown here.
We do got some big names.
We do have some coming
this next year.
Yeah, we do have some on the list, and some of them already said they're down. So we're excited to. We can't drop names yet, So we're excited to still bring them on. But let's just dive right in and get to know Seangthea a little bit.
All right, Seangthea. It's a unique name, but your real name is Samai, correct?
I'm sorry. Actually, let's cheers.
Okay. Before we get into it.
Yeah, before we get into it,
let's cheers.
We keep forgetting to cheers.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Cheers.
All right, cheers.
I already started drinking.
No, that's good.
So good.
Yeah.
The slurps I get.
ASMR. Ooh, that is good. That's
good.
Careful.
How many shots did you put in there?
You don't want to know.
I mean, I might pass out then.
Yeah.
We'll see it like you guys are progressively
Yeah.
taking down.
No, you know
throughout
what?
the
Like a
shoot.
couple of the people that we've had on here already, like a couple of them were like, "Oh God, it's hitting me." Like, that's a good thing though because it gives for a good show. Like while we're talking,
And it gets deeper.
It gets deeper and it gives some good answers. So
Yeah.
but we got Seangthea on some cocoa today, guys.
Yes.
She wants some cocoa, which is totally fine. We're gonna be the ones drinking today, so we don't know how we're gonna act, but
But just be
Gotta
me
keep the
laughing
tradition.
at y'all the whole time.
yeah.
Right.
With y'all acting up.
Oh yeah, that's for real.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
She can keep us in check. But yeah, back to your name. I think it's a unique name, Seangthea. Your full name is Samai?
It's Seangthea Samai.
Seangthea Samai. Okay.
yeah.
Does that have a meaning?
Yeah, so Sing is my grandmother's name.
Oh, okay.
And then Thea is goddess in Greek. Or she is a Greek goddess. Yeah,
Okay.
of light.
Okay, so it does have like meaning like that. Okay,
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your ethnicity?
I'm Cambodian.
Cambodian?
full
okay.
Cambodian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm mixed with like every country in Southeast Asia.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I identify as being
That's-
Cambodian because
yeah.
it's what I was raised.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
culture I was raised in.
Same with being Laos. My grandma was half Vietnamese, so I'm a mixture of Vietnamese and Laos. But yeah, I grew up in the Laos culture, and so yeah, that's why I claim mostly.
Do you have a Laos name? I actually never asked
do
you. I
you?
don't think
I
I've-
don't. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, even though both of my parents were Laos, I actually didn't know how to speak it. They never taught me, and I felt like your parents are the ones who give you the name or
Yeah.
pass it down to you. But funny thing in Laos is that like all my aunts and uncles have a Laos name, and it's like the most like fucked up thing I feel like, because literally my mom is the youngest of 6, and her Laos name is Noi, which means small and little, and literally she's the shortest one.
Oh my gosh.
And then her oldest sister, which is the oldest of the 6, his name is Mo, means mole, because she has a fat mole.
Oh my gosh.
And then my
Yeah.
uncle's name is what is it? Ton. Ton means fat. So they just like
Damn.
fucked up.
That's
names.
Yeah.
And
Your
that's literally-
grandparents just took the easy way out.
Right, right.
They just looked
You're-
at them and then like, oh,
Yeah.
you're small.
Yeah, you're fat. You got a mole.
You need to switch your name with your mom.
No, no, because I'm not small.
Yes, you are.
I'm big.
Nah.
Yeah.
That'd be funny though. if like, was it just your mom didn't want to give you like a Laos name? Did you ask her about that?
I never had that conversation with her, but my parents were really Americanized, and they didn't really teach me Laos as much. So I think that's just how I was raised. Was more of like an American, culture. So they never thought about.
We love you, mom.
Hey,
Hey,
shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom. Yep. So we know that you're originally from Minnesota, and you moved to LA. What, like a couple years ago, a few years back?
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
How was it transitioning, like from Minnesota life? Because
my
you've lived there pretty much
My whole life.
your whole life, right?
Yeah.
And then moving to a totally different place on the West Coast. Like, how was it transitioning for you?
It was a complete culture shock. Like completely. The town I grew up in,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
basically all white people.
Oh yeah.
There was like 5 Asian kids in my
really?
school,
Oh,
and
shit.
we were like all related. So yeah, there was like no diversity.
Yeah.
And my high school in general was just really small. Like my graduating
Yeah.
class had not even 200 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I moved out here, and I think the biggest culture shock was the school size, because I went from a graduating class from 200 people to like 2,000 people
Yeah.
in just my graduating
Yeah,
class.
yeah, that is
Dang.
crazy. What? So you said your graduating class back in Minnesota.
Yeah,
So
so-
did you graduate early or?
Oh, I guess I mean
Like just in general,
my
like
classmates. Yeah, that year. So the class of 2019.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So how was it? Like, being just a few Asians though. Like, were you treated weird or differently?
Oh, definitely. I think the biggest thing was just people being ignorant because Cambodians, darker skin, they don't look East Asian.
Right.
And most people don't know Southeast Asians,
Right. Facts.
And so when they see Asians, they're like, oh, you're Japanese, oh, you're Chinese. Like, those are the only two that
like
they
already make
associate you with.
assumption.
Yeah. So a lot of people didn't even think I was Asian. They're like, oh, are you Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
How was it bringing food to school?
Oh my gosh!
I feel like
Did
that's
you
a
bring
hot
only
topic.
Asian food?
Like a sad story. So my grandma would cook every morning, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then of course when you cook, like the smell sticks on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you're familiar with just like any Thai food,
Right.
Yeah.
anything like your Lao,
Yeah.
so like the food's stinky.
Yeah. Fish sauce.
Yeah, fish sauce and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I would go to school smelling like that, and then like kids are mean,
Oh, yeah.
So
No,
You know what?
Yeah.
Like honestly, I've experienced. Well, not for me personally, but I think I've told you this story.
Yeah. You
But
told me a lot of stories. I mean,
yeah, I know.
you're getting old. As he gets older, he tells me more stories.
Yeah.
He's
I got
like
a
my
lot.
great grandpa.
I got a lot. No, but it's almost the same exact thing. Kind of what you mentioned. Like, there was kids during my high school, and I even thought it was fucked up what people were saying. But of course, I smelt it, and I wasn't like complaining, but people were like complaining a lot. And but anyways, it was some Indian kids, and of course Indian food as well. It's super strong.
Yeah.
So like gets on your clothes. And every PE class we had these Indian kids. They're both brothers, and we would have PE, and in the gym fills up with the smell, and it's crazy. Like because even like everybody can smell it, but there was just people that would be so fucked up and be like, "What is that smell?" Like so that whole class can hear, and I'm like, "Damn, that's like fucked up." Like, why would you even mention? If you want to say something, like mention it to the teacher and maybe have the teacher or something, like that. But and then this part I thought was kind of fucked up because our gym teachers called us to the center, and there's probably like 50 students total, right? And they're talking about like, we've been noticing a few people have not been keeping good hygiene, and we all know who they're talking about, right? And I was like, damn, why would you call, like we all know who you're talking about. Why would you do that in front of all of us?
Yeah.
And, you could have gone like directly to them instead of like bringing it up to in front of everybody. And just during that, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. And, relating that to what you kind of mentioned, that's, it's fucked up. Just especially from me seeing it happen, like, how did you handle that?
I would either change my clothes like right before I would leave the house, or I would tell my grandma not to cook in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it like, so it was every day though?
Almost every day.
Almost every day. Okay. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I brought food to, school that my mom would make, and I'd be getting some weird looks for sure. It got to the point where I just didn't bring it, I was just like, yeah, mom, just make me something different, I can't be bringing this to school. The kids are making fun of me, and it'd be loud too. Like when you open that container, it goes everywhere. Yeah.
Just
Especially
smoke.
for people who like aren't familiar with that smell, I feel like it's more normalized now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because everybody's eating it nowadays, like everybody's either going to like Thai restaurants or, some kind of Asian restaurant. So, but
Right.
yeah, damn,
So,
that's crazy.
definitely feel
Though.
that.
I like how it's a universal experience for like
Yeah.
Right.
all of us Asian Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome though.
For sure.
Okay, so I definitely want to, we brought you here, to talk more about your modeling career. So I definitely want to get a little bit more into that. So you lived in Minnesota until you were 15 or 16. Did you start your modeling career or path back there, or like once you landed in LA?
Not until I moved here, but not until about 2 years after I moved here. I didn't start until I graduated high school. So back in Minnesota, I was interested in it.
Yeah.
I feel like as most young girls are, they always, your dreams to be a model.
Right.
But nothing that I would seriously think of pursuing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I moved to California, and my stepdad's Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And you know how Filipinos are with like pageantry
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
stuff? They're hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever I would see the Filipino side of the family, every time they see me, like, oh, you should be in pageants, you should model, like kind of hyping me up a little
Right.
bit. And I never took it seriously. And then one day, my local, the Long Beach pageant, they sent out like emails to join the pageant because I
really?
guess they needed people to join.
Was that
you
just a
know?
general pageant for everybody? Like all of
Yeah.
Long Beach people? Or
Yeah, for the girls.
For the girls?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just like a city level pageant.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then I told my parents I wanted to try it out. And then they just financially supported me, and I kind of just did everything else myself.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the first 2 pageants I did, I went in super unprepared
Yeah.
because there's a lot that goes into pageantry. Like
Yeah.
these girls get pageant coaches, fitness coaches.
Oh,
They
damn.
do all these mock interviews and
Yeah.
they get sponsors. It's this whole process.
Yeah.
And then when I went in, I had like no sponsors, no pageant coaches.
Yeah.
My walk was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I just did it just to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, it just like you saw people doing it and it was something you wanted to at least try and you gave it a shot. So like what is that, would you say that's exactly what got you into modeling? Was just doing pageantry stuff first, or
yeah, I probably would have never started doing modeling if I didn't do pageants first, because it was the modeling post, the pageantry post,
Yeah.
and the headshots that got photographers to notice my Instagram. And that's when I started doing collab shoots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
I did the pageantry.
Yeah.
I only did 2 pageants.
Oh,
you
okay.
did?
Yeah.
Was that all here in
Yeah,
LA?
that was all here. So I did my first pageant my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And then I did my second pageant my senior year of high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy like doing pageantry during that time?
Yeah, I
or-
loved it. Like even though my performance was terrible, I had a lot of fun and I met great people.
Yeah. So what made you like not want to do it anymore, or would you still pursue it?
I think I would. I haven't closed the chapter on pageants quite yet.
Okay.
It's just that if I do go back into it, I want to be the best version of myself. And these women that do pageants now, because if I do it now, I'd be in the woman division, not just the teen. Like these women like graduated from Ivy League. They have like nonprofits. They're
They're
super
serious, yeah.
successful and intelligent, smart, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to go into pageants not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
yet.
So you're
Yeah.
right now you're probably just like, are you like prepping yourself for joining pageants again? Would you say?
Not at the moment.
Not at the
no.
moment. So you're not really fully prepared to join pageants at the moment. You're just trying to stick with the modeling path right now. No, that's
Yeah.
dope. I mean, honestly, like, you're still, you're still young. You still have tons of time to even get into pageantry stuff. I think modeling is gonna give you, that stepping stone to get back into it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
right.
so I mean, you're already doing a good job with
Killing it.
modeling. Yeah, you're killing it with modeling
Thank
already. So,
you.
one thing I definitely want to ask too is, there's a lot of stereotypes with Asians, Asian Americans and stuff. Like, do you find it hard as an Asian American, like landing modeling gigs or just being a model? Like, has it been difficult for you in general?
For me personally, no, because the agency that I'm at, there's only 2 other Asian girls, and that's kind of
Aside from you? Okay.
that's kind of one of the main reasons my agent signed me, is because they didn't have a lot of Asian girls.
Okay.
So when a client comes and they want an Asian girl, there's only me and 2 other girls.
Right. Right.
So it diversifies my agent's
Yeah.
Yeah.
portfolio of
Yeah.
models. And also I'm more fortunate in the sense that I have more of like an ethnically ambiguous look. Like I feel like I could go for like any kind of Asian.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I haven't had any troubles booking or with modeling being an Asian American, thankfully.
Would you because we had to talk about this on our last podcast about kind of stereotyping Asian Americans and stuff like that. And I don't know if you recently heard about what happened with Awkwafina, but yeah, there's a controversy with her. kind of like what you just mentioned, like, you know, you can almost look as if you're almost every Asian or something like that. Like, does that kind of hurt you on a certain side, like where people might stereotype you as being almost like any kind of Asian, or do you like that?
I don't mind it because I know that I'm Cambodian and I'm confident in that fact, and I understand that some people just aren't educated.
Right.
They're being unintentionally ignorant.
Right,
You
right.
know, you can't expect everyone to know every country in Asia.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So if I realize that these people that are confusing me for another Asian are coming from like a place of just not being aware, then
Right.
most of the time they want to be educated. So I just tell them like, oh no, I'm Cambodian. It's a country in Southeast Asia. Most of the time they know what Thailand is. So I'm
Right,
like,
right.
it's next to Thailand.
That's exactly my story
Yeah,
every time. Oh,
there you
Laos.
go.
Oh, where's that? I was next to Thailand. Oh, I love Thai food.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, oh,
There you go.
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. We're the same pretty much. Yeah.
No, yeah, I was just curious because, you know, I do know some people like the whole thing with Aquafina where she mentioned that she doesn't want to play a stereotypical Asian person. Like, you know, I'm not even sure what her nationality is, but she doesn't want to be casted as something where it's like she has an Asian accent or something like that. She literally just wants to be herself. So, you know, I really just kind of wanted to see what your side of things were like as an Asian American, like if that's something you also are trying to avoid where it's like a stereotypical thing.
Oh yeah, to go on to that, it's hard as being any person of color joining Hollywood
Right.
if you don't look like you could pass for white. It's hard to play roles that venture out of your stereotypes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about that too. And, you know, like, it sucks, you know, there's so much stereotyping going on, especially with Asian Americans. And, you know, that's why it's so hard for some Asian Americans to get casted in, you know, certain movies or TV shows because Hollywood, they're looking for certain people. And, you know, that's why I wanted to ask that
They're still
question.
looking for the smart Asian or the kung fu fighter
Yeah.
or you know, the doctor. You know, it's always
It's the
those
same
categories.
recycled
Same exact
role
thing.
over and
Yeah.
over again.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
hard to break out into new roles when you look Asian and you don't look ethnically ambiguous.
Right.
Basically, if you can't pass for being white, then it's hard to
Yeah.
break out of those stereotypes in Hollywood.
Exactly. And we mentioned on the last podcast too about how like right now is a good time for like the Asian community because I feel like we're living in a new generation of like almost like we're like breaking the generation as, you know, like for music at least, like BTS, they've won so many, you know, Grammys this year. And then we have Shang-Chi, you know, even though that's a Kung Fu movie, you know, I've been watching a lot of interviews with the main actor, and he really wants to promote, you know, being Asian American and, you know, diversifying, you know, his roles in Hollywood and stuff like that. So I feel like we're living in a new revolution, you know, and it's headed towards the right way. And hopefully we don't have to, the kids of this generation doesn't have to hide their food from school like we did.
Yeah.
And he also just won a People's Choice Awards a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know,
Did he
so
really?
congrats to him. Yeah, you know, like, you know.
Simu Liu?
Yeah, Simulu. Yeah, he won a People's Choice Awards. I believe it was for Shang-Chi. So, you know, congrats to him. You know, he definitely is killing it. And, you know, he got his foot in the door now, you know,
Right.
with just that film. Honestly,
Yes.
it just takes one film to just take you to the next level.
And it's big, Marvel.
Marvel,
That's big.
you know, that
Yeah.
hopefully they're, you know, they make another like big Asian, you know, film within, you know, Disney or Marvel. I'd like to see that.
I feel like Crazy Rich Asians was definitely
That was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
too.
think there's a
Yeah.
number 2 coming out.
Yeah,
if
there
I'm-
is. There
right?
better be. Oh my gosh.
There's
I-
got to be.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
even
it was
like
good.
that. Yeah,
It was good.
It was good.
liked
I
it.
even like that movie. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, back to modeling. Do you know, like when it comes to poses as a model, it's definitely, I feel like it's one thing a lot of models will struggle with is poses. Like, do you practice your poses in general or like before you go into a photo shoot? How do you deal with like poses and all that?
I think the first thing I do is look at inspiration. Like Pinterest is my best friend.
Okay,
Looking for
yeah.
inspiration for poses.
Yeah.
And then But also the main thing is just knowing what looks best on yourself, because what looks good on one model may not look good on another model. So I practice my own poses, like in front of the mirror real quick. I'll like, see what looks good, because I could see something on Pinterest. I'm like, oh, that would be a good pose. Yeah, but then when I try to execute it, it won't be the same. It won't translate the same.
Sure.
So I think the biggest thing is just practicing with yourself and knowing what's best for you.
No, that's awesome. Like, you know, we've shot it quite a few times already too. And, when we went into our first shoot, I didn't even need to like tell you anything. Yeah. Like you were already killing it. So, I mean, I'm assuming you started practicing poses way before then.
Yeah.
Is that something that you just...
I think I was always like obsessed with Instagram. Even back in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I was always taking selfies all the time. This is when Instagram was like first
selfie queen.
Like that's when Instagram was huge, you know. So it was in middle school when Instagram first came out, and literally everything was just all selfies. Like I was just obsessed with taking selfies of myself. So I've always been comfortable in front of a camera.
That's dope.
And then, so you started. What made you want to start practicing poses? Was it just something where you're like, if I'm gonna do this, like, I need to know exactly how to pose. Like, what made you... Because, some people, I'd say a majority of people, especially like Instagram models, they don't necessarily go to the mirror and practice their poses. Like, it's like...
They just kind of wing it.
Yeah, you just kind of wing it. Like, what made you, in a sense, like, want to start practicing?
And take it more serious. Yeah.
I think it was... when you're shooting for a little bit and you realize you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. So you want to switch things up a little bit. Yeah. So that's when you start practicing. So you get different shots and different variety of photos.
No, that's good though, because you're preparing yourself. Right. Like at least you're going in prepared and you kind of know what to expect at the end of it. Once you get the photos back, it's like, I killed it. I already knew what I was going to do, So it's a good thing coming in prepared, because I've worked with so many people that especially, because I always bring him to majority of the shoots as well. So he has the same experience, but worked with so many people where they're not fully prepared. So it's like, we still have to be like, tilt your head or do it this way, do it that way. And, it's definitely, I'm not going to say like, I stress on it too much, but it's so much easier when like a model kind of already knows what to do. Just going in, because we're the ones with the camera. We're shooting the photos and getting the angles and things to make models look good as well. So the fact that you're also doing your job, I appreciate it. Let's give some hand claps for that, guys. Let's give some hand claps. No, really, like I said, we've talked about this so many times. Like, it's just so much easier working with people that know exactly what they're doing, because it makes our job easier as well. Right. We just take the photos and you already know what you're doing. We already know we got that fire.
Hey.
What would you say as well?
Yeah, because I was going to point out that I think the key thing that you mentioned was variety. As a model and as a photographer, we know we have to shoot variety. Like, we can't go in and shoot the model in a different place but with the same poses. We know that we have to change up something to make it look different. So you as a model, that shows like your experience and your talent, that what you need to do and what the photographer needs in order to make this a successful photo shoot. And as experienced photographers, we could definitely see that in a model, and we definitely see that in you. And I think that's why you kill it every time. I mean, we only shot once, but we can already tell.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, like I said, it definitely, for me, I appreciate any model that comes prepared, and like, because I've been on photo shoots where we'll be there maybe an hour plus, just because, of course, like, I'm trying to also, train a model to like get specific poses and stuff like that. But I mean, even when we've killed out shoots, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Fast.
That's quick. So it's like, exactly what you're doing. And like I said, it just makes our job easier. So
congrats.
Definitely appreciate it. So I definitely want to, I seen you start getting into different kinds of photo shoots, like different kinds of styles of photo shoots now. So I kind of want to know, like, what's your take on like your favorite type of modeling, like, you know, fashion, lingerie, like, because I know you started just doing a couple like lingerie shoots or something like that. Like, what would you say is your favorite and why?
I think my favorite types of shoots are beauty.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's so much more technical, I feel like, because the makeup has to be perfect, the lighting has to be perfect, and it's just, I feel like, more fun because for the most part it's only like here up.
Yeah.
So it's more stress free and don't have to worry what your body looks like, and so beauty has definitely been my favorite.
Okay.
Do you like doing studio shoots like that?
I do like doing studio shoots. I do appreciate, you know, the occasional outdoor shoot, but after doing some indoor shoots, it goes by faster versus outdoor shoots. We have to walk to each location.
That is true.
Yeah.
And if the photographer doesn't scope out the locations beforehand, then it's more walking to find locations.
Right.
That is true.
That work.
That is true. Yeah, you know, like, there's something with studio shoots, like, because he knows this too.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you know, models, that's a different thing. But for photographers, like, on the photographer side of things, studio, I just, like, I don't feel inspired for some reason. Like, because if you see my photos, I like to feature a lot of composition in the background. Like, I like to have a lot of cool things in the background. With studio stuff, I just feel like I can't do a lot of it, you know. But I have tried, you know, like beauty type stuff, like, you know, during COVID, I tested it out with, you know, Rachel. Like, I bought a backdrop literally during COVID just to do those because nobody's shooting and stuff like that.
You
so
use the TV.
Yeah, you know, I used my TV and, you know, stuff like that. So, like, backdrops, like, what do you think about backdrops? Because I know beauty shots can either be, you know, like, with backdrops and without backdrops, because a lot of times it's just a lot of close-up shots too. Like, do you prefer backdrop type of stuff, or?
I think it depends on the type of shot because there's some, you know, editorial, most of the time it's kind of just like plain wall and then it just focuses on the subject. But I equally like not like just natural photos because like you said, you like to feature different like levels and like the composition and having different subjects I think is important for the photo as well. To go off what you're saying, like you don't like backdrops, I kind of see where you're coming from because you can't really get creative with it.
Exactly.
That's the big thing.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I was trying to get at was I can't get creative because you're literally just using one color or whatever and there's nothing in the background. That's exactly why, like, I don't do a lot of studio shoots is because I can't get creative. You know, so the one that we shot at, the neon one, of course I can get creative because neons are my thing. Like, I love neons and the fact that there's so much to play around with. I was like, okay, let's do it. But other than that, I just don't enjoy doing like studio stuff.
I mean, I totally agree with him as far as composition, but I can see as a model, you know, having that magazine type of feel and being simple, like there's a simplicity to it, and it really focuses on the model and the makeup, like you were saying, for a beauty shoot. So I definitely could see how that could outweigh the creativity because there's creativity in the simplicity, you know. And I could definitely see that. But, you know, every photographer is different. Everybody has their own.
Never knocking down other photographers because even when I see, like, you know, beauty shots or stuff in the studio, I'm like, damn, that's actually really good. But then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't think I could do something. I wouldn't do it, and I don't think I can achieve it. You know, because it's not my style. I'm willing, you know, I've tried it just for fun, just to see what I can actually do with it. But, you know, it's just not my thing. You know, and that's what we've kind of agreed on it, and, you know, come to conclusion. Like studio stuff is just,
for us, like shooting outdoors is definitely more fun. You know, more things to interact with, especially like composition, lighting, shadows. You know, stuff like that is more things as a photographer to play with. But yeah.
It is what it is. What do you typically do to like prepare for photo shoots? We interrupt this episode with a word from our sponsor. Are you a gamer and looking to amp up your gaming setup? Then we've got an amazing gaming brand for you. Tilted Nation strives to get their customers involved with their development process of new products in order to establish a personal connection and not to mention truly optimized products for the gaming community. They want to go beyond developing amazing products and to lead the gaming community into a united community that works together, a community that pushes gaming essentials to unimaginable heights. They've hooked us up with amazing gear such as this gaming headset stand, mouse pads, and this awesome laptop RGB stand right below my laptop. And now they're hooking you guys up. Use the discount code Artistry Drop on their website, link below, and receive a 15% discount. Now back to the show.
Oh my goodness. Not much that you would think. Just like wash my hair, shave, do like a little more skincare than necessary. Depending on the type of shoot, if I'm going to be wearing, if I need to be showing my body in any way, then I'll do cardio like the days leading up or even the day before.
Yeah.
And just not eating, what's that word? Sodium. The day before is you're not puffy, and that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like me. Like, honestly,
Oily face.
Yeah.
From rubbing all this stuff on his face.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, like that's just kind of like food talk and stuff. Like that's how I am too. Like, anything alcohol, anything that's sodium wise, my face gets hella puffy, and like that's why sometimes when I watch these podcasts, I'm like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have drank the day before.
You kind of got that Asian glow going on.
Yeah,
I know.
That drink is hitting in.
He put a little too much, I think.
Like it's getting his
You
throat.
too a little bit though. It's like pink right here.
I mean, it is getting a little hot.
I think he poisoned us actually.
No.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, you're kind of getting red too.
Am I?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm just happy. I'm a happy person, bro.
I don't know. Maybe you put
What
some
you mean?
THC in here too.
No, I didn't.
I don't know. But anyways, I do want to. You know, I actually didn't finish my last question. You kind of got into doing like lingerie type of shoots, like, and I forget if you in your caption like you said you tried something new or something like that. Like, what made you want to try it? Just curious.
I think I have no idea. I think it was just me becoming more confident in my body and kind of just my transition from being like a teenager to like actually growing to like a woman and adult and having the freedom to actually do these shoots.
Yeah.
Because when I first started modeling, I was 17. So obviously when I'm 17, I can't do swim and lingerie. I mean, you can, but it's not very appropriate.
Yeah.
So I didn't start doing it till, you know, this past few months.
Right.
And it's been very empowering, I feel like, especially coming from like the Asian American background. It's kind of
strict parents.
yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, your parents, like, when they saw you do like a lingerie type of shoot, did they
Especially for the first time. Like, how was that?
Did they discriminate about it or?
I wouldn't say discriminate or anything. It was neither negative or positive. They were kind of just like,
Did you tell them
they
before?
didn't know how to feel? Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
But I think the people that disapprove of it most is like my dad, of course, and then my grandparents.
I mean, I was gonna mention that because I was gonna say like, if your grandparents seen it, like they're already gonna say something.
No, every time, because I post my pictures on Facebook too, and Facebook's like all family, and every time my grandma sees it, she's like, oh. She puts her phone down. She's like, I can't look at it.
I mean, is she cool with you like doing modeling in general? Like, is she proud of you like doing modeling?
Not really.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
So is that like that might be like like the typical Asian? Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I mean, just just keep killing it. I mean, sometimes you can't
please everyone.
Yeah, you can't please everybody, you know. So, and you're doing it for yourself. You know, if you don't do it for yourself, and you're just worrying about what other people are gonna think, like, honestly, there's gonna be no success whatsoever. Yeah. And I've always told myself that too. You know, like, well, for me, like my parents definitely support me in a lot of the things I try to do and accomplish and stuff like that. But
you got some cool parents, man. Shout out to moms and pops.
Yeah, mom and pops. You know, they support me like big time. And you know, of course, like with moving down here, you know, from Seattle, and you know, like me leaving them, but they still supported it. You know, because of course they know my dreams and my goals, and they want to see me through it. You know, and that's why I always say, like, you can't let anybody hold you back, even if they don't like it or approve of it, because that's just gonna hold your goals and dreams back a lot. You know, so the fact that you're even with your grandparents, I'm sorry, grandma and grandpa, like I'm just saying it, you know, like just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, of
because
course.
that's the only way to, achieve your dreams and goals. So
Coming from grandpa himself,
Yeah.
that means a lot.
I have a lot of inspiration, guys.
He has
like
a lot of wisdom.
Wise
a lot of-
words.
yeah,
He
over
spent
here.
a lot of time on this earth.
Oh yeah,
I
I got a lot of wisdom, and I teach you a lot of stuff as well.
Yes.
So I gotta do my job.
Yeah,
So,
as a grandpa, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Of course.
Speaking about modeling, have you ever like traveled outside of California to model, or
No, not
No?
yet.
you
Hopefully
open to that?
soon, yes. Right now, we're currently talking about
really?
signing to other agencies
Ooh.
because Otto right now is my mother agency. But
Okay.
my goal is to sign to an agency in New York
Oh,
so I could get some work over there.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Yeah.
I do see other models like on Instagram. They're signed to different agencies in different cities. So is that like, how does that work? Because I don't really know too much about agencies. Like, so is that something your mother agency has to approve of, or how does that work when you sign to a different agency?
Only if they're a mother agency, then they take control of all of that negotiating with other agencies and
okay.
clients. But otherwise, if it's not a mother agency and your contract is not exclusive, then
Yeah.
you can be signed to multiple agencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yours isn't exclusive then.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I could sign to other agencies. It just has to be under their discretion.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly don't dive too much into how like modeling agencies, and I've been contacted by a modeling agency regarding photos.
Yeah.
For shooting photos and stuff, but I kind of pass on it. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I'd rather be like just a contract, because they did send me like their contract and stuff just to review if I wanted to, but I was like, no, I'm good. I'd rather just keep with my contract self and just obtain my own jobs.
Yeah.
So as far as modeling goes though, like, do you, because you mentioned like you get inspired by other people, like who would you say is like your biggest inspiration for modeling, or who do you look up to the most when it comes to modeling?
I think I don't know how to say her first name. I mean her last name, but her first name's Yasmin. She's gorgeous, and she models she's in New York. She's a New York
Okay.
model. She was like Victoria's Secret Angel and all that. So
okay.
she's definitely my modeling inspiration, probably my only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't follow other models or anything other than the ones that I've met and the
Yeah.
ones that are my friends.
Like Instagram and stuff like that. So you don't follow like any other like
Celebrities.
Celebrities.
Nope.
Models.
you don't follow celebrities in general?
Nope.
Oh damn.
I only follow people I know on Instagram.
What's the reason
She
for
is
that?
her own celebrity.
No, what's
She
the
don't need
reason for that?
nobody,
Because
yeah.
I do know some other people that also don't follow celebrities. Is it just because you try to keep your Instagram cleaner, or what's the reason for it?
I guess I'm just not interested in seeing like their
Other
lives
celebrities.
and like their lives and stuff, because I feel like that's the only reason people follow celebrities is
Right.
you want to follow their life.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I got enough going on in my life. I don't need to
Exactly.
deal with
No,
it.
that's
Facts.
understandable. No, because even I've been cleaning up my Instagram, and I was following a whole bunch of celebrities before, and I cleaned them out because I only like some celebrities I only followed because I watched like either a TV show or something like that, but I cleaned them out and only still following the ones I really like have enjoyed
Yeah,
for
that's
like a lifetime, like The Rock and people like that, like because The Rock is actually really inspirational. Like he has a lot of inspirational videos
Yeah.
and
Motivational talks.
and
Kevin Hart does.
yeah,
too.
Kevin Hart does too, So like I get what you're saying though. Because also like I said, I mean some celebrities just post random stuff.
Daily stuff.
Yeah, daily stuff, and that I could care less about, so I'm like, peace
Yeah.
out.
Really has no value.
Yeah, no value whatsoever. But
Right.
like I said, I mean, like The Rock, Kevin Hart, they bring a lot of value and they're super inspirational.
Right.
And The Rock is just a cool guy, like in general.
Yeah.
Like
he's
like
a
Super
household.
big,
He's
but
a
he's-
household name.
he is,
Like,
he is. Yeah, So that's where I'm at with things as well. So. Now I kind of want to get into like the photographer side of things, when it comes to modeling, like how does it work when, or how do you choose a photographer to work with?
I think when I first started, I was just kind of shooting with anyone, because I just wanted to shoot as much as possible because I enjoyed it. But now that I'm signed, I have to be more selective with the photographers that I collab with.
Yeah.
Right.
So I shoot with the ones that I like their work, even if it's not my style, but I think their work is good, I still shoot with them because
Are we in that list?
Yes, of course. Of course.
You know, I had to ask.
I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say yes to shooting all the time if you were.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Like, even when I've always hit you up, you're always down to shoot.
Yeah,
so
of
I really
course.
appreciate that. Honestly, you know, like, and I'm sorry about the cinematic video too.
Oh no, you're
I
good.
shot a cinematic for her a while back, and you know, like,
It didn't go as planned.
yeah, I mean, it didn't, but it's still fire, and I'm still gonna be editing it, you know. But you know, that's another thing that happens is when you go to photo shoots, some things just don't happen as it goes, you know. Because the cinematic I shot, I looked it up on Google, place looked fire, and we get there and it's actually closed. So I'm like, fuck, like,
Yeah, we're like, let's jump the fence.
yeah, we were talking
Let's
about
bribe someone. Let us in
Yeah.
real quick.
yeah, and it looks super dope, but you know, I had to kind of use like the outside
When
portion.
was this?
Damn. This is almost at the beginning of the year, I think.
Oh, this
It
year?
was, yeah,
Okay.
it was a while ago. I think it was probably like March or April.
Okay.
And like I said, you know, like I was trying to get into shooting more cinematics during that time, you know, and you know, that's the other thing that's been happening recently too, is like we've been shooting a lot more music videos now.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I've kind of held off on shooting with other models and you know, stuff like that just
And
because
editing too.
yeah, editing, and now
Yeah.
I got work with the academy, you know, so it's like, damn. And now the podcast, it's
a lot.
busy.
Yeah, it's
There's
a
a
lot.
lot, you know.
We out here grinding
We out here grinding. That you know,
every
that's,
single day.
that's the goal, you know. So,
Yes, sir.
but yeah, like with photographers though, like, do you ever reach out to any? Like, do you scroll through and be like, oh, I kind of like this guy's work, like, and I'll reach out to him, like, even if he doesn't follow you or you don't follow him.
Or is it mostly like photographers reaching out to you? Which,
Yeah, I've never reached out to other photographers.
Really?
It's always photographers reaching out to me.
Okay.
But that's coming from like a place of kind of awkwardness because I kind of feel weird as a model reaching out to a photographer, especially one that doesn't follow me.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of feels like asking for free photos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
It kind of feels like, because how I grew up is not accepting like free handouts and also not asking for things and expecting them to be free.
Right.
So I always felt weird about contacting photographers and be like, do you want to collab? Even though he doesn't follow me.
Yeah.
If he follows me, or he or she, if they follow me, then yeah,
Right.
because that means they like my look. So they'll,
Yeah.
it's mutual, but
Yeah.
not one that it's not mutual. It feels
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Right. I can kind of see that.
Yeah, no, you kind of mentioned females. Have you worked with a female photographer?
Yes,
yet?
I have.
You have?
I worked with about three
Three of them?
female photographers. Mm-hmm.
No, female photographers are killing it now too. You know, like I follow a few too, and I've seen. I think her name is Liquid Verve on Instagram.
Yeah.
She is fire. Like her work is fire. Like even
gotta
I
check
wish
her
I could.
out.
A lot of cosplay
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
yeah.
you got to check her out. Like
Yeah.
her work is so fire. Like I'm like, she's probably an
It
inspiration.
looks like a movie poster.
yeah.
Yeah, it has effects and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
she does a lot of works with a lot of neons, so that's probably why like I feel inspired by her as well. You know, but she has a lot of good work. You
You
know,
see her. I think it's a Ghostbuster one.
oh,
This
with the
recent-
four,
Yeah,
yeah,
girls.
that one was
that
fire.
One was so fire.
check her out,
Ghostbuster,
Liquid Verve,
yeah.
guys. Like I'm
Liquid
telling you,
Verve.
yeah, she's fire with
Yeah.
it. So, okay, now I definitely want to kind of get into a little bit more photography things because I'm not gonna.
It's
Okay,
it's interesting to hear like a model's perspective on what we've talked about as photographers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
you know, with this, it's a big subject because there's a lot of controversy with it as well
Yes.
with photographers. So
Especially with collab shoots.
collab shoots.
Yeah.
But what I want to ask is like, have you worked with any creepy photographers? Like, and has there been any that reached out to you? I gotta know because there's a lot of controversy with it, and you know, there's been a lot of big stories with recently that have happened with photographers and models and stuff like that. So I kind of want to know, like, she's already laughing.
Yeah,
she got
she
a lot of
is.
No,
stories.
I mean I'm laughing because it is kind of it's a important topic to
It is
talk about.
important. It is.
So if there's any models watching this, here's some tips.
There you go.
But I've always been cautious with photographers, even with the beginning. So I only
Okay.
work with photographers that here are like my signs I look out for. I work with photographers that I either know people that worked with them before, or they present themselves in a professional way. If we don't have any mutuals. Another thing is there's photographers that reach out to me, but their accounts are private, which I
That's
think
weird.
is very strange.
That is weird.
That is weird.
Very weird.
Why would you private your work? That's one question.
Yeah, it's and why would you expect models to trust you if they can't see your work either
Sure.
or what
Right,
you're
right.
posting?
True.
And then I guess another sign is photographers that only shoot lingerie and swim and like implied, like that's all they do.
Red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
For
all
sure.
they post.
Yeah.
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 What's that? And if we do have a mutual model or another photographer, and I'm kind of getting like weird vibes, I always talk to like our mutual and be like, "Have you worked with this person before?"
Yeah.
And they'll give you an answer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, that is good because, like, there's been some stories, I've seen around Instagram that have happened with, sexual assaults and with photographers and doing these weird ass things with models. And, like, it's crazy what these dudes do. Like, I've heard probably 3 to 4 different ones within, like, maybe the last year
Yeah.
or so. And these stories go viral on Instagram. That's the only way I find out about them.
Yeah.
Come to find out, one of the dudes, actually from Seattle, I forget his name, but he had a big following because he also moved out here, worked with a lot of influencers, and you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
I know
right?
who you're
Yeah.
I want to know.
What's his name?
I forgot his handle.
Yeah, I
Say
forgot
that,
his
say
name too.
that.
I honestly forget. Like
Because we never followed him, but we've seen his photos.
yeah, and he actually knows people I know back home.
Right, right.
So that's
we
the-
know the models.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of
and
the
it's
models.
crazy because even like so one of the girls that I still follow, and she was good friends with him. She even posted something like they were good friends. I would see them pictures with them all the time, hanging out and stuff like that. But and then she ended up posting something. She like blocked him as well, because he had also done something to her,
Oh my god.
which they have been friends for a long time and all this. But and then he ends up doing something to her.
Big props to her for coming out and saying something,
Facts.
especially knowing that they were friends for so long.
Facts.
That's the
Exactly.
hardest to come out.
It is.
And come to realize that, like, by her saying that, it created a chain effect.
Yeah.
All the other people he affected,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they all started coming
And
out.
then all of them were all down here in LA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that is crazy. Like it literally, it's one story sparked, and then all these other females started coming out with the stories about him.
Yeah.
It should have came out earlier than that.
Definitely.
Like not wait and stuff like that. But I do understand women can get scared, about coming out, and that's totally understandable. That's not the only story I heard, and then I heard another one where like you probably heard this one because this one went super viral. But this happened here in LA, and supposedly it was a guy doing a lingerie shoot with a female, and I guess when they were done with the shoot, like he told her to come sit on his lap, and like she did, and then all of a sudden he started rubbing his hands around her and stuff, and then she was like, take me home, blah blah. He was like, no, stop, blah blah blah, and all this stuff, and then it just got out of control, I guess. And then after that she like posted something about it, and then it was just a chain effect, and more females started posting it, and it's so crazy like how these photographers use photography just a way to meet females. Like
Right.
it is sickening. Like, you should be doing it for the passion of art.
Yeah.
Photography is an art. And I love like just sitting at my computer editing and like doing what I can with my art. The fact that these people are using it for a different reason, it's just all fucked up. And I feel bad for these women that are also getting hurt by these photographers.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of.
Taking advantage,
And it gives you guys a bad reputation
Exactly.
as well.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
Because and then now females, I'm not saying it's always been hard to work with a model or whoever, but I'm just saying now females are definitely more aware, and now they're definitely doing more research on, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
They should
of
be
course.
doing more research on photographers to work with anyways. But now it definitely is giving a bad name to more photographers, like, because now like females are definitely more aware. Like, what if a guy is a good guy and he just wants to work with you, but and then the female's like, you're kind of creepy, but he's really not.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now it's like girls are definitely more aware of it, and that's perfectly fine and that's good. But it's like, what if a dude is a good guy, but and then, you know, a female just passes off like, no, I don't want to work with you, even though he's a good guy.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
also like, you know, photographers starting out, they can be a little socially awkward when they're first starting into photography because they don't know how to interact with the model or like break the ice, you know. I think that's one thing that we started to do when we first started too, was like talk to the model before we even start working. We talk to the model first, break the ice, get to know them, you know, make sure they're comfortable, because once they're comfortable, like the shoot is way more like fire, you know, once they're comfortable in their own skin. But if you just go straight into working, then it's a little awkward and it takes a little time to warm up. So we think it's key, you know, to before we start working, just to talk to the model, get to know them. And we actually have a few close model friends back in Seattle, and we shot with them many times. And then we start talking about, like, you know, these stories about if they worked with any other photographers that, you know, was creepy and awkward. And then one of the models he shot with ended up saying that, like, yeah, and there's actually a blacklist of Seattle photographers.
It's crazy.
We need one in LA.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Big. It would be big.
It would be
he can tell you more about it.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so what pretty much happened was, and, you know, I think Alita had also gotten involved with that or something like that. She had mentioned there's one of our other friend models. But yeah, so how it happened is, you know, one of my friends I shot with, you know, we're just talking after the shoot and stuff, and then she mentioned, like, have you heard of the blacklist for photographers? I was like, that actually exists? Like, I had no idea, you know? And she was like, yeah, no, it's a thing, because there's been so many creepy photographers in Seattle, you know, with people, you know, them using the art form to try to get to women, you know? And when she told me about this, I was like, no, I honestly never knew there was such a thing. And I found it really crazy. And she was like, you know, I can send you the list just so you kind of, like, you might know some of these people. She kind of forgot, and I never reviewed the list or anything like that. But she told me there was probably over, like, I think she said like 200 to 300 photographers on there that are blacklisted, where models will pretty much, like, I don't know, it's like a clan or something.
Must be like a group or something.
Yeah, it's like a group or something like that.
I need to get on this group.
You should probably
or I should start one in LA.
You should start one. That would be a good idea. And like I said, it's definitely good protection, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I forget exactly where she said, but it's like a group of females that pretty much just say, you know, I shot with this photographer, he was super weird. They add him to the blacklist. And then same thing. So I don't know how these models find out about this blacklist, or where to,
how
you know,
to share it, or
how to share and let
like
people
that,
know. But yeah, the fact that there is a blacklist like that, it's crazy, but it's a good idea. You know, it definitely, like, you should think about putting like maybe a Facebook group or, you know, something, but keep it low key.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, you got to. Oh, sorry guys, we're actually putting this on blast now.
Now all the photographers watching are
That's
like,
fine.
oh shit.
Are you scared? If you're
coming
you
for
should
us.
be scared.
You should be scared, guys.
They're on to us.
No, but low key, like, honestly, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it
and
is.
you know, like, of course, if, you know, C decides to put one up, we're not gonna put it out there or anything. You know, we're gonna let all the females add you guys to the list, and it is what it is. You know,
Right.
because it is really terrible what, you know, these photographers are doing. You know, and like I said, even the photographers I know of, I've never experienced like some weird shit going on, but you know, it's probably deep in there with other people, and you know, they don't get exposed until something actually happens. You know, so do it though. Yeah, do it though.
So I definitely will look into it.
So you haven't like dealt with any creeps, but have you dealt with any like awkward shoots? Like,
yeah, of course.
And how do you deal with that?
I kind of it depends. It depends on how uncomfortable and weird it is.
Okay.
Sometimes if I'm like, it's super weird, I just kind of get it over with quickly.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, let's go.
Right.
And then, or if I can tell it's just because maybe the photographer's nervous, I'll try to start the conversation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but
do you think he's nervous because he's around a female, or is it just because it's like his first time shooting or something like that?
I think just people are just naturally just those
Yeah.
naturally awkward people. Like they can't
Yeah.
help it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of awkward
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, I definitely started out like that for sure.
No, like, yeah, even I, like, for me, I've always been extroverted. So, you know, I talk a lot, and that's why I feel like I do so good when it comes to photo shoots and, you know, getting along with people, is because, like, I'm extroverted. But, you know, of course, I started out super shy, like, back in high school. Like, I didn't even have a girlfriend until after high school, which is crazy. But, you know, my best friends back at that time, you know, like, broke me. Like, they took me out more, and then I started going to more house parties.
I mean, you were really fat too in high
I
school.
I was actually really fat though. That,
Like, you remember the bully from recess?
but
That-
no,
that's what I'm saying.
no. You can't say just because you're fat.
No,
a girl.
of
no,
course not.
Yeah, because one of the most popular.
But when
girls,
you're fat and ugly, that's a that's a dangerous combo.
I mean, that's facts. That's facts. No, but even, you know what? I was super chubby, super fat during like middle school and high school. I wish I had my photos. I might post it on the YouTube video right now, so we'll see. But
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh, damn.
But no, honestly, like, it was crazy to me because I had a crush on one of the more popular girls in my middle school, right? And she was like popular, like all of them, and I was like budget, like I was low end and stuff like that. So then, you know, we ended up talking through like AIM. And stuff like that, you know, AIM and stuff like that.
It's
And
before my time.
it is, it is before your time. But you know what it is, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. But yeah, you know, like, just started talking, and things started progressing. And I was, like I said, this is during my shy days too. You know, awkward days and stuff like that. And all we did was talk on AIM. And then once I see her at school, I'm super shy and awkward. And then like I asked her to go through AIM. I asked her to go to the school dance, and she said yes. I was like,
damn.
and I was fat. I was fat. So this is.
See, you did it.
I'm telling
See,
you. Like,
anyone can do it, guys.
anybody can do it. Like, don't let your weight get, like, if you guys are a little bit bigger out there, like, guys, you just got to do what you got to do, you know, spit that game and, you know, just go forward with it.
Funny story too. I had a high school crush who was very popular too. I mean, I definitely wasn't as fat as you, and I definitely wasn't as ugly. But,
I'm not even joking.
I
I was super fat. Like, I'm not.
Just keep the photo up.
yeah, just keep the
that.
photo right here. Right here.
I got to show how people, like, I was really fat. Like,
Yeah.
even when I look back at the photo, I even show Rachel it, and she'll be like dying. Like, I'm like, you see how fat I was back then? And I was bald.
Yeah.
So I used to shave my head all the time. You know, it was like, because I used to hang out a lot with, like, you know, Asians, and during that time, like, bald heads were a thing. So, like, I would tell my one of my Indonesian friends, like, he would shave his head. I'm like, bro, it's time to go. Like, shave my head. Then I felt like powerful. Like,
Nah. You look like what's that kid from King of the Hill?
Oh,
the son. Was it Billy?
I think so. Yeah. I forget. Oh my god. Yeah,
that's you.
We'll put a picture, the high school picture, and
Yes.
a picture of him.
Yeah, no,
Side by side.
Side by side.
no, I definitely have to show the picture. Like,
No,
I'll
you
try to.
did.
Yeah, for you guys out there on YouTube, I'll try to get the picture out there. I'll have to scan it or something, but I got to show you guys. Like, it doesn't matter how fat you are. Like,
How ugly.
how ugly, it doesn't matter. Like, if you got game,
Fat people need love too, man.
they do.
We got that self-confidence talk.
course.
But
You know-
real talk, if a person doesn't want to be with you because of your looks, then they're not the person for you.
Facts.
Real talk.
Facts. Because there's a lot of people that are out there that only looks at, you know, they do pay attention to looks.
Like looks first.
Only looks.
Yeah, strictly looks. But of course, you know, there's a lot of good women out there that, you know, it's all based on personality, which is a thing. Like, you know, some people
hard
are
to
like,
find.
yeah, it is hard to find, but there are a
That's
lot
why I'm
out
still
there.
single. It's hard to
Facts.
find. It's like a needle in a haystack. Like, I'm
Facts.
still waiting.
Wait, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna? I kind of took
Oh,
over,
about my
but-
story.
Yeah,
about
your story, yeah.
not being ugly and being handsome and not fat.
Fuck you.
Going with that. No. But I was a super nerd. Like in middle school, I literally had lunch with the teachers because I had no friends. And I would get bullied in middle school, you know, and stuff like that. And
That's
then,
how you are still now.
No. And then high school came, did talent show, won talent show all 4 years of high school, you know, started to get kind of popular. And then this girl that I met in my junior year, Wait, no, it was a senior year. I think it was like end of senior, beginning of junior, whatever. And I always see her pass through the hallway. I'm like, damn, she's beautiful, you know. But she's so popular. She's with all the pretty girls, right? The pretty girls of the group. And I'm over here being a nerd and whatnot. But I was really into like all the performing arts and doing talent show. Like we had multicultural fashion show. She ended up being my partner for fashion show. And then she was also Mien, which is like kind of like Laos. And we basically were representing the Laos culture, and she had the culture clothes for men and women, and we both wear it. And then I forgot what I said, but I told her like I lost her clothes, and it was passed from her like grandma and stuff like that. So it was really like meant a lot to her. And I was just joking. I was like, oh, you know, I lost it. I didn't bring it. I don't know where it is. And then she starts crying. And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And then ever since then, you know, she kind of looked at me to a different light. But it ended up being like an icebreaker, and we ended up getting together. And that's the girl who I dated for so long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yep.
A long time ago.
You started your relationship off with trauma.
I know,
yeah, actually, that's facts.
You got to break them, you know, break them down, make them be humble. And then,
God.
And then you build from there.
I mean, that's facts. So, that's facts.
I'm just kidding, though. But yeah, we talked about like creepy and awkward shoots. I want to know, like, what was your like favorite shoot?
And
maybe,
why?
Yeah, and why? Maybe like top three. I know going down to one is kind of hard. But
I mean, it's probably us. No. I'm just playing. Just playing.
I've had so many good ones. Like, I have no idea. I've thought about this question before, and I don't have.
You don't have one?
Like a number one favorite shoot. Every shoot has its, you know, ups and downs.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite, especially
you have shot a lot too.
A lot,
so,
a lot, and it's hard to pick a favorite when every photographer has a different style.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. So
no, that's a good point. Like even I can't really say I have a favorite shoot I've done, because I would say my favorite shoots are definitely the neon stuff, because that's my vibe. You know, like when we shoot outside and do, you know, like regular nature shoots, like those are cool too, but neon shoots will always be my favorite. I can't say which is my favorite because all of them are always fun to do, but neon shoots that's my favorite genre or niche, I guess, when it comes to photography. Yeah,
I would say the same thing. Like neons, definitely. I'm all my photos are very colorful, as both of you guys know. So, but yeah, I feel you when you say you can't really go down to like your favorite, because every shoot is unique and different, and the vibes is always different. Always comes out fire. So
yeah, and the relationship that you build with each photographer is different too. Like some it's like a friend relationship, some it's like a mentor mentee relationship.
Oh yeah.
Some it's like strictly professional.
Right.
Yeah,
no, that is true. And you know, like majority of the time, like anybody I shoot with, I always try to, you know, make him a friend. Like, you know, I'm never too serious when it comes to photo shoots. Of course, you know, I know when to act professional. Yeah. But, you know, like after the shoot, it's like, you know, we talk a little, and you know how I do, you know, during my shoots and stuff like that. But I always try to make everybody a friend, no matter what. Right. Like it gives off better, and it makes people feel more comfortable instead of like just going in and let's get to it and let's just get to work, and then you feel more like nervous, or, you know, something weird is going on during that time. But that's why, like, I've always made it like just one of my things where it's like, you know, we talk a little bit, we get to shooting, we have fun, joke around a little bit, you know, here and there, and just always try to make somebody feel comfortable, because that's how it should be when it comes to shoots. Right. I've seen too many people where, you know, and I've heard stories where it's like the whole awkwardness thing is like people are too serious and they just get right there. They don't say anything and they just go right to shooting. I'm like,
and it does translate in the photos.
It does. And I've seen some photos, and the story people have told me about, like, yeah, like we just kind of went into it. There was no talking, kind of just introduced. I'm like, damn, I would feel really awkward as a photographer. Just kind of,
that's the thing too.
You know, like I would just like going straight into a photo shoot and just being okay. Like, this is how we're gonna shoot. Like, I don't know. It's just weird for me.
Yeah.
Thinking about that now, it's kind of odd because, especially the collab shoots, you would think on both ends you're doing it, you know, for fun, and it's a collaboration to make these photos.
Yeah.
So when the photographer is going into it like that, it's kind of like, then why are you doing this shoot then?
Exactly.
In the first place.
Exactly.
It got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like, why did you go out of the way to like do this shoot if you're gonna?
And especially if they're the ones that hit you up, like you know, you would kind of expect somebody that hits you up would be a little bit more talkative, and at least kind of guide you through with things. But you know, if they're kind of just like, you get to the shoot and they're like, okay, I need you to do this. And then there's like...
Yeah, that's weird.
It's
making me think now. I'm like, it's kind of weird.
It's bringing up the past when we were first starting photography too. And on the flip side, as a photographer, having an awkward model. Because we always talk about like model photographers being awkward to the model, but we've had
I totally forgot about that one. There's only been one time there's been super awkward with us, but I totally forgot about that shoot. Like, you can tell the story if you want,
So basically, you know, we're in, you know, still practicing and reaching out to a lot of people on Instagram and stuff like that. And this was back when, you know, I was shadowing him as a photographer, trying to figure out my style and stuff like that. And we reached out to an Instagram model who...
I wouldn't even consider her really an Instagram model. Yeah. I would consider her maybe like somebody that just thinks she wants some cool photos.
Yeah, she didn't have that much to show and stuff like that. From her picture, she looked girly and she looked like she likes to take pictures. So we were like, hey, you know, it'd be dope to work with you and da-da-da. If you want to schedule a shoot, so we scheduled a shoot with her. And first of all, from her photos, she looked really girly. But then when she came there, when we met with her, you know, she was there with her family or whatever, and then they kind of went their own ways. And then while we shoot, but when she came, she looked really tomboy-ish, you know, wear a big puffy jacket and stuff like that, which we're fine with.
Yeah, and we're also during this time, like, we didn't really tell people what to wear. Right. You know, damn, how far I think this is probably 2015.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So this is kind of when we were still just kind of getting the hang of shooting with models or people, you know, but yeah.
So and she came totally dressed. Not only did she dress like a tomboy, which is not a big issue because a lot of models can dress like a tomboy and be fine, but she dressed nothing like what she was posting on her Instagram, and she also didn't dress like she was prepared. It looked like just a casual jacket with jeans and stuff like that. We're like, okay, we're gonna try to make it work. So us, you know, having the mentality of like, okay, we need to break the ice, you know, make her feel comfortable, you know, our normal routine of trying to make, you know, good content. We start to talk to her and, you know, she just giving us one word answers, and it's really like dull. Like, we're trying to dive deep, you know, where you work, what do you do, you know, just simple small talk to see if she would kind of open up a little bit. But she never did. And then when we were taking photos, we tried to, like, you know, direct her of how to pose and stuff like that. She was doing it, but it didn't really look like she was trying. And then we would talk to her more to see if, like, you know, talking to her would, you know, make her feel more comfortable, you know, kind of loosen her up a bit. But yeah, and then after that, we both walked away and we were like, what just happened? And we were like, wow, I don't think we're ever going to post these photos because they look really bad. And I don't know if she's ever going to ask for them because I felt like the feeling was mutual that we weren't, like, connecting, you know? And after that, we never posted it. She never hit us up, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
No, let me kind of tell my side of it. Exactly what he said is accurate. But we each were shooting with her. So it's like, you know, he had kind of his thing.
We took turns.
Yeah, we took turns, you know. So mine was just really awkward to the point where I ended it in about 3 to 5 minutes.
That's true.
I literally told him, like, I told him it got so awkward to the point where I just couldn't shoot with her anymore. I was like, I needed to end this shoot. So pretty much what was happening was I would ask her a question and then she would just look at me and not even answer the question. And I was like, okay, this is really fucking weird. Like,
I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah, no, like, it was just really weird. And then, like I said, like, I ended it probably about 5 minutes. And I forget what she was doing. But when because I think it was me first, and then she went to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So and then I told him like super quick. I was like, bro, like this is the most awkward, weird thing I've ever gone through like before, you know. And I told him, you know, like you're probably gonna go through it, and then you know he probably ended it what about almost the same time, about 10, 15 minutes maybe.
I try to go a little bit longer to see if she'll open up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. So I mean, even us as photographers, we go through some weird, awkward things with models, but that's rare, I would say.
Yeah,
I've only gone through that once, and that was with that person.
Okay.
And it's weird. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I would say it's probably more weird than working with an awkward photographer. It's kind of a little bit more weird working with a model because you know you're kind of there like guiding her, and the fact that she hasn't really done any photo shoots or anything like that, it was just weird. I don't know. I feel like it was more weird because the fact that I was asking questions and not getting an answer.
Yeah, it's just that awkward silence.
Yeah, there's just like I'm like asking you a question, but you're not answering, and you're just looking at me like, okay, like I'm done. Like I just got to get out of here.
Yeah,
you know. So that's what I have to say about that story. But yeah, so everybody out there, it's not just photographers, it's not just models. It's a mixture of both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
I would say definitely more photographers than models.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
for sure.
of course. Yeah, it's always going to be more photographers than models. But
it's not just photographers.
It's just just photographers. You know, like models may be there as well. Especially like if a model is more shy, and you know she's just kind of starting out. I would say, especially like if you're more introverted. You know, like, and that's the thing where extroverted photographers got to come in play because you're the one that has to break the ice. And that's how it should be in general.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the one that reaches out to a model and be like, hey, you want to shoot?
You kind of set the tone.
You set the tone. Like, you got to be the one to at least break the ice and start talking a little bit more. And I feel like, you know, when I started shooting back in, like, 2015, that helped me definitely a lot more. You know, I was already extroverted before that, but it was also my first time reaching out to random people I didn't know on Instagram and ask them if they wanted to shoot. So doing more of those shoots helped me a lot talking, you know, to random people. Damn, total shoots I've probably had, it's a lot. Yeah. Probably almost like 200. 200 plus or so, you know, which is a lot. So it gave me a lot of experience of, you know, being extroverted and practicing on how to talk to people, be friendly with people and stuff like that. So I would definitely say, you know, like, photography is a good thing, especially for people that want to try to be more extroverted than introverted. Because there are people out there that want to practice talking to people a little bit more. And I think photography is a good, like, icebreaker. Like,
yeah, I would say the same. You know, I was definitely introverted growing up, but going into dance, doing battles, and going into photography, definitely photography, you know, made me become more extroverted because I knew like it was my job to set the tone, to make them feel comfortable, and to break the ice. But dancing too, like, you know, you have to be really well-rounded and able to take in what everybody is, you know, teaching you as far as teachers or either other dancers. You have to like be like a sponge in order to be great at your craft. You know, you have to be really well-rounded. So I think definitely the mixture of both made me be more extroverted, but in the inside I'm still introverted as well. I love to stay home and I love to chill. So it's just a switch that turns on.
We cuddle in bed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's cute. Don't deny it.
She said it's cute.
Don't deny. That's cute.
You got her.
Little bromance going on.
I do got my girl, so you know that's.
And you got your yellow dildo, so.
Oh my God.
See?
Now we have to tell her the story because she's gonna be. I can't let her know that.
I know. Now I'm like, oh.
No, it's not a dildo. Okay, so pretty much what it was, it's
it was a dildo.
It's not a dildo. Number one.
That's what he claims. That's what he claims, guys.
Okay.
No, you were there too, so
let me hear it.
No, so went back home over the summer. And it was for my birthday, of course, you know, and party with you know, my whole
sex.
No. Birthday with the whole family and my sister, you know, we play a lot of pranks on each other and stuff like that. So she ended up getting me a gag gift, which was this big yellow dildo soap dispenser thingy.
Oh.
Like, I don't know.
So you literally have to go like
Yeah.
this,
Really?
and the soap comes out.
Yeah.
What the?
You've never seen it?
No.
because it's actually been around Instagram. Like, it's floated around. Like, like, I don't know if it's a Japanese thingy, but anyways, yeah, it's like a real thing. It was a commercial, and you stick it down, and it sticks to the surface of the sink. And to get the soap, you just go like this, and it is what it is. But it's not a dildo, okay?
Yeah.
Like, don't listen to him.
Well, he definitely hasn't used it as a soap dispenser. So I wonder the possibilities.
No,
of
that shit is
dispenser.
gone. It's thrown away.
Oh,
I told
shit.
Rachel to get rid of it.
I mean, I feel like it'd be kind of funny to like have it in your guest bathroom.
It would be though, like just as a joke.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I think it would be funny because if people know like you're that joker and like people
Sense
would
of humor.
understand. Yeah, that kind of sense of humor. I mean, that's already our sense of humor, and that's why me and my sister go off of that anyways. But you know, he keeps saying it's like a dildo. I'm like, bro, it's not a dildo.
It looks like a dildo.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I actually put it in his room, and he came into it. Like I left out
when
the
I
whole.
came back home from
work, and I was like, he didn't even recognize it until like later.
No.
Yeah, he's like, this is normal.
I just have dildos on my bed every day.
See?
When I come home, it's nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new.
He's like, how did this get out here? I put it away.
I thought I hid this.
Yeah,
Damn
exactly.
it. Damn it.
Okay, we're getting out of hand, but this
I
is
know.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it's still funny, you know. Okay, cause you know, like, damn, like we've been talking almost 2 hours.
Really?
Almost. Like it's crazy. Like I said,
Let's go 2 more.
Alice, our last guest, even said that. Like she was like, it's not enough. Like
Yeah.
we can keep going. I was like, I mean, we could, but it's gonna be a long ass YouTube video.
I mean, it's dope for us, but like as a viewer
is.
watching in, you know, it is a lot to sit through, like in one moment.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why, you know, we kind of, I'm sure you know our YouTube viewers know already. Like we try to keep it at an hour and a half, but of course we're always willing to go a little bit longer. It's just, you know, the retention span of some people. It's like I'm getting bored.
Like
and
I
stuff
can't
like
even
that.
sit through TikTok videos anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so like ADD.
I definitely want to
like
ask
have
about
to,
that a little bit more, a little bit more in a bit. But let's get into the next question because I do want to know, like, you know, with the whole modeling thing, with, you know, being a part of an agency, like what made you want to actually be part of an agency, and like why? Like why did you choose that agency?
Yeah. So I was doing collab shoots all the time. It was getting to the point where I was doing like every single weekend or even like multiple times a week and the weekend.
Yeah.
And I built this portfolio without even realizing I did. And it got to the point where my parents told me, you're doing all these shoots for free, you might as well start getting paid for it.
Facts.
Yeah. So I was like, shit, why not? So I took some digitals and I sent them in to all the agencies in LA. Because, you know, you're bound to hear back from one.
Yeah.
I heard back from 5.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. I heard back from 5, and it was like a week long of interviews, meetings, emails. And then I decided to sign with the one I am now because I had like that gut feeling. It was the one.
Was there like specifications that made you choose them though? Like anything in the contract or
what was your like process of elimination from the other ones?
Yeah.
I think the process of elimination is most agencies, when you're in the process of signing, they're really going to milk it. They're like, I think you could do well, but I'm not sure. And they drag on this process. But with this agency, as soon as she got my digitals, she called me right away and she was like, I love to have you. Like, I want to sign you right now. I really think you could book.
Yeah.
And I see you having a lot of potential. And you want to go with an agency that has that feeling towards you because at the end of the day, the agent works for you. They're the ones finding you clients. And if they believe you will book, that's more money for them.
Right.
You know, because they don't make money. Yeah, they don't make money unless the models book.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they believe that you'll book, then you'd want to obviously be with that agent.
Right. Right.
So that's why I felt it was the best.
Yeah. No, and the fact that, you know, they reached out to you like immediately saying that, you know, they want you on the team, like that's already a good sign.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I would probably, like for me, I would probably do still a little bit more investigation, not as a model, like just in general, like, you know, like if somebody wanted to, you know, have me be the director for a video, and, you know, after I sent out like, you know, samples or reels of our music videos, you know, and they're like, I need you to shoot this, I'd probably still be like, I need to know a little bit more about you, even though you know, you responded to me hella quick. Like, we need to know more, you know. With the whole agency thing though, like, do they offer you anything in the beginning at all? Because that's one thing I actually wanted to know is, like, you know, once you sign on the dotted line, do they offer you anything like upfront?
No.
Nothing.
They don't offer you anything. You sign, and then they'll set up your online portfolio on the website, and then you just wait to get booked. And then most of the time there is like an agency fee, obviously, for like setting up the website, because websites aren't free. And they'll just take that out of your first paycheck, and then after that it's all money that you're making, and then they get their cut.
Are you allowed to say what the percentage is?
It's universal amongst all agencies. It's 20%.
20%.
So which is common, like, I feel, with like all
that's
commission.
actually not too bad then.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Like, especially if the job is pretty big, 20% is not too bad. I would say if it was like almost half.
Yeah, that's
like, yeah, that's too much. Like, you were part of an agency. Like, how much were you getting?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they were taking 20% of mine. It was more of a talent agency, so they did more acting. You know, they booked me for some dance stuff and, you know, some non-speaking roles and background stuff. But the way I applied was a little bit different. I heard over social media, I have a lot of dancer friends, and they needed somebody for this Ed Sheeran music video. And
oh yeah, he guys, go watch the music video. He has a lot of screen time.
Really?
He has a lot
Wait,
of
what music video?
Shape of You.
Yeah, Shape of You.
Shape of You. Yeah, I'm in there.
I was just listening to that song.
In the back,
I'm
you'll see me with the red beanie.
Yeah, he has a lot of screen time. I was like, bro, like, you famous now.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna post it on my story tonight. I know him.
There you go.
I purposely like stood in the front, you know, to be noticed, but yeah, to have some screen time. But, you know, I didn't like audition or anything like you would now. They just needed people in the background to fill up the space. So, you know, I hit up my friend. I was like, hey, I'm down. So I went into this warehouse. You know, long story short, it was like it was like a 16-hour day.
Yeah.
And it was barely any money. And it was cold and stuff like that. But, you know, it was fun. And but anyways, from that shoot, you know, yeah, it was 20%. And I just was constantly being, you know, booked, and it was hard. I applaud anybody inside an agency, because a lot of the stuff is last minute. You know, it's on the call, you know. And when you have like a normal 9-to-5 job, which I was in the medical field, which I still am, it's hard to, you know, kind of
be in the entertainment industry
and be available 2 days, you know, later. So, and needing to do like this little like skit or whatever, and you need to film it like tomorrow and stuff like that. So it's really hard. So
no, that's true. Yeah.
Have you gone through stuff like that where it's like, well, because I know we kind of talked about it, like, before when we shot the cinematic, I had asked you, like, if you were trying to land more gigs where you're on TV and stuff like that. Like, how has that been going? Pretty well?
I've been working a lot of TV and background.
Oh, yeah?
That I cast through the agency as a model.
Oh.
Because sometimes production, they specifically want models for roles. So I've worked on a few TV shows, and then I did a movie for Netflix last week.
Oh.
So that's funny that you brought it up.
You can't really tell us, I'm sure, because you signed an NDA right now.
Yeah, so the only one that's aired so far is American Horror Stories.
Okay.
I saw the clip.
You saw that?
Yeah, it was like a super it was like
I
3
had
seconds.
a good 3 seconds. And it was two 14-hour work days.
Okay, damn.
And I
just for 3 seconds.
Yeah, and some of those people didn't get any, so I was grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Were you just background?
I was just background. It was
there was
big
I
party
think you
scene.
just walked by, right?
I just walked behind the actors, and that's it. Like, I had a red cup. It was a green cup, actually.
And you were with another girl or something,
She was another model.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of background as a model.
That's dope. Yeah, speaking about agency and being a part of a modeling agency, for other models who are out there, like, what would you say might be some like pros and cons about being with the agency and without being one as well?
Yeah, I think the biggest pro is they're able to book you bigger clients that it's kind of harder to do as a freelance model. And also they're able to negotiate up for you, you know, like your rate.
Yeah.
Because obviously the more money that your rate is as a model, that's the more money going in their pocket from their percentage.
Yeah.
So I think that's the pro. I think I personally don't see much cons. There's some people that prefer freelance because they want all the money to themselves. You know.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
But I personally prefer being in an agency because I have that person to vouch for me and find clients for me.
Yeah, you definitely have more leverage too because you can get way bigger jobs than on your own.
Yeah.
You know, because it's connections. Like these agencies have a lot of big connections that can land you gigs in movies and
more in the industry.
Yeah, more in the industry, you know. So I definitely, you know, I've never had an issue with like agencies and stuff like that because there have been a couple times when, you know, I've tried to work with a model and, you know, the Xbox stuff. So there's one of our other friends, she's also part of an agency, but I had to go through the agency since I was working with another brand or company. And it was a lot of back and forth. And I was like, oh my God, like this is giving me a headache. Like she wanted me to, not my friend, but, actually, you know who it is? It's actually Nancy. So when I was, this is last year's Xbox shoot. So when I was trying to get her involved, I had to talk to her agent. So I had to email her. She emailed me back. We were going kind of back and forth. And then the agent wanted me to confirm things with Xbox. So it's like a lot of running around for me just to try to get one person, you know. And I told Nancy, I was like, you know, especially because the agent was a lot more stricter, she wouldn't let Nancy do it. So I was like, fuck. Like, I understand, though. You know, I understand, like, it's a business and stuff like that. But that's why, like, I also, you know, like, when it comes to agencies, it can definitely be a little bit more of a struggle depending on the specifics. The contract and specifics of certain models, you know.
Yeah.
Is your contract like that at all?
Yes and no. I think the biggest thing is if I try to get things pertaining to acting on my own, that's out of their jurisdiction because they don't specialize in acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked to her about it before, I think. I don't remember. But basically she said if you're interested in acting, then you could go ahead and find a talent agent because, you know, she doesn't specialize. You know, she's strictly just a modeling agent.
Yeah.
But for shoots, I guess it, like, depends.
Yeah. So how about for photo shoots, though, in general? Like, is photo shoots, like, if you're not working with a brand like Xbox.
So there's test shoots, basically?
No, like let's say, like, us just shooting, like how we always have been. Is that, like, an issue with your agent?
No.
So they said you can pretty much work with any photographer you want to.
Yeah. Just being careful, and they like us test shooting on our own because it's more to our portfolio and diversifying. Yeah. So she actually just tells me, she sees my Instagram and she sees me posting. She's like, oh, I've seen all these these pictures, but you haven't sent them to me, so I can't add it to your portfolio. Like, she's really chill about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, that is good then. You know, as long as, because they're also helping you because those new photos are going to help you rank up and maybe even get more jobs. You know, so I definitely understand that. Going back to, like, you know, like the shows you were in, are there only 2 so far
That I've worked?
Yeah, that you've worked with.
Okay, so there is that one. I don't.
Oh damn, there's a lot.
There was like 6.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, only one of them has come out, but I've done a couple shows, and then
is that in the last year?
Yeah, this past year.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So how is that pain? Like, because, you know, like he said, he was on a 12-hour day and he got...
It's like a minimum wage for you, but for models, we get paid at a different rate.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it a higher rate?
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
You ballin' then,
yeah.
Huh? You ballin'.
And then once it, like, past the 8-hour mark, you get a time and a half, and that's when like the money starts ranking up. So the background, like, you know, it's really just standing around. It is tiring.
Yeah. It's like the worst position.
Yeah, because you have to like stay awake and be alert and stuff
because they need you at any moment.
But it's not guaranteed you're having screen time, so it is really, it's tiring and discouraging. But I don't mind them that much anymore as long as like I'm getting that like time and a half after I'm giving that overtime. Yeah,
as long as you're getting that bread, that's all that matters.
Have you been on shoots like that where it goes over overtime?
Like the American Horror Story one? we got home at like 3 a.m.
Oh,
Like we
wow.
got in at like 1,
So
out at 3.
is the full time considered 8 hours?
Yeah.
And then it goes to time and a half.
So you always get your set rate of 8 hours, and then after that it's time and a half.
Say, damn, that's a lot of money then.
It is a lot.
You balling right now then.
Nah, I'm not.
anymore. That
No,
money's
not-
gone. That money's gone.
Nah, it's gone.
That's gone already. No, honestly, I didn't know like as far because like as far as like models or actors and background stuff, like I didn't know it was different for models. I thought like anybody that was part of like a background would get the same kind of pay as anybody, but I didn't know like models specifically had a different rate.
Yeah, we have a different rate.
Is that through the agency or is that a contract with like the production studio and then?
I think it's because for the background jobs, it's usually how it goes is that certain production will like post something on a casting network,
Right.
and then background apply, and then they just select whoever. But with the models, I think why we get paid higher is because like we're personally selected.
Right.
So the production, they specifically want models for a certain scene or a shoot, so they'll go to an agency and pick the models they want for like that certain look.
Right.
So it's more of a process versus just like we need like 5 background, get them from this database and put them in.
Yeah, no, even doing background, like there's even different background people who get paid differently because some people are part of SAG, stuff like that, and some people are part of like different agencies. So even though you're all background, they might be getting a different pay rate depending on where they come from. So yeah, I totally understand. So have you done any like industry commercial shoots as when it comes to photography? I know you said
the biggest one was Lily Lashes. That was the biggest like actual modeling job.
Okay.
And then I did like a hair dye one. But it's interesting because as a model, I've done more background jobs than I did actual like print modeling shoots.
Okay.
Are those printed already and out?
Lily Lashes, yes, is out.
Okay.
That was a while ago.
Is that in like magazines or is it like?
It was a e-commerce on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that through your agency?
No, that's through my agency.
And how long have you been with them?
It's gonna be a year in January.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's what's up.
congratulations.
Thank you.
January, right?
Yeah. It makes me feel special.
We gotta hit that, So
Yeah.
well, we know you've been in background already, but do you want to take the lead and start acting soon?
I've actually recently there's another photographer, I don't know if you know him, his name's Ming. I worked with him a few times, but he's an actor as well, and he's kind of been like sort of my mentor, giving me advice on it, and he kind of encourages me. He's like, you should really get into acting because I see you doing it. And he told me the process, and everything, and it's something I'm interested in but haven't quite looked into yet. Yeah.
Well, we would love to see you on like TV or movies.
I
Like
know.
That'd be dope.
we've already seen a couple of our friends in some movies and TVs, and it's always dope seeing somebody in there.
know.
Yeah.
Like just super supportive, and it's awesome.
I want to be in a horror movie. Like that's like my
Do you love
dream.
horror films?
Yes, I love it.
There you go. I love horror.
Nah, I'm good. bro.
This guy, you know what? Me and Rachel love horror movies, and we watch like, we always watch haunting films, and
Nukes.
because I don't know if you know who Nuke's Top 5 is. Do you watch any haunting videos or anything?
It's
Oh,
on
my
YouTube.
sister does.
She does. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we love paranormal stuff. Like that's just what we do. And
Yeah.
whenever we invite this guy to watch a scary movie with us, or what he doesn't watch
I'm
anything.
good.
I'm
good.
What are your favorite kind of scary movies?
I like, oh my gosh, like Alien and Zombie are my top 2.
What's your favorite?
I think World War Z
Oh, that's
is
a
like
good
I
one.
cannot stop watching that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
War of the Worlds.
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I could
Have
do,
you gone-
I could
have-
do those. I mean, those are.
Those
Yeah, those aren't
scary,
jump
but-
scares.
Yeah.
Do you like the set at Universal War of the Worlds?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy
insane.
actually seeing it like
In person.
in person, and then when you actually watch the film, it's like, damn, I'm actually here.
Yeah.
It's super dope. That's why I love films too. Like filmmaking and stuff like that. Just taking something super simple like that and just making it super cinematic and crazy looking.
Then we went to Horror Nights. That was dope.
That was dope too.
Yeah.
But let her finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I can't think of any like ghost horror movies, but I do enjoy those too.
Yeah.
Like my dream as a kid was actually be a ghost hunter. Like that was.
Oh damn.
I mean, that's like us.
I've never heard.
I was in
anybody say
elementary
that.
school and I wanted to be a ghost hunter.
A ghost hunter.
You know,
Oh, wow.
no, you know what? Like I always bring this up to him and Rachel, but I feel like some weird shit always happens to me when it comes to ghosts. Like I always either see something and like already jump to the conclusion it's a ghost, but I believe it. Like I believe in paranormal.
Yeah, same.
And you know, like
Like this sign fell off one day.
Yeah.
And we
It's a
woke up. He's
ghost.
like, it's ghost.
Yeah.
There's something in here, bro.
No. I'm not even gonna like. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've experienced some weird shit throughout my whole life of like things that I think are paranormal.
I mean, I've had my ghost encounters.
I
too.
actually have a story of when I actually caught one on camera.
Can you send me that?
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Okay. It's true and like my cousins can validate it because they're the ones that were there, and then my whole family can validate it because we showed everyone.
Yeah.
But I was in elementary school at the time and it was on my iPad because I used to make videos all the time on my iPad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was so scared of it that I deleted it.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
Because it was like, it felt wrong to have it on my iPad.
What did you see?
So it's just me and my cousins vlogging at my cousin, his name's Billy, at his house. And we're like getting ready to head out. And both of my cousins are in the bathroom and I'm in the kitchen. And then all of a sudden, like I'm panning and then you see this black shadow like walking like from the kitchen behind me into the bathroom. And there's no one else in the house.
Shit.
You know, and the way it was walking, it was like clear as day. Like, you know, like the shadows that you see,
Yeah.
it's just like the faintest shadow. But like this was a full blown figure.
Yeah.
Like a
Damn.
black figure.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I didn't notice it until later that day. We were like watching our vlog, like, hey, let's watch it. And we saw it and like we were terrified.
Damn. You know what? You should have saved that video because you know what, the show me and Rachel watch on YouTube. Watch it. It's creepy. They got a lot of creepy videos, but it's called Nuke's Top 5. And what it is, it's a YouTube channel where people send in their own encounters of spirits and shadows and actual like, you know, ghosts that they see. And we watch it all the time, and damn, there's been some creepy stuff. And you know, there's been a lot of the stuff that you kind of mentioned where it's like, you know, you pan and then you see a shadow just kind of walking or something like that. Damn,
He's getting scared.
He doesn't watch Nukes with us.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, he
I'm
doesn't
good.
he doesn't watch Nukes with us. Like I always try to convince him, and
I mean, I watched a couple, but
No, I love
Yeah.
that. Like I eat that shit up.
yeah, no, watch it.
Like I love watching it and like seeing it, but like me actually experiencing it, like
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
No,
god.
like I said, I mean, you know, there's an encounter I literally just had, and I know I'm not like, I wasn't fucked up at that time or anything, but this happened probably like last year sometime, right? Anyways,
he's had too many.
no,
I like
no.
we're talking ghost stories
I
now.
know,
no,
right?
I love ghost stories. Like it's just mine and Rachel's thing. You know, we love it. But so you know, we were just laying in bed, and I had already woken up, but I turn, because you know she sleeps on one side, I sleep on the other side, right? I turn and I literally see something on the ground,
Oh hell
and it was looking
no.
at me, and I move hella quick,
Oh hell
and then I
no.
look and it's gone.
Oh,
I named him Tanny because he was literally a tan color. And it was really weird. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I've told him this story, and I've told like my parents and everybody, you know, he doesn't believe me.
They've
you know,
also seen a naked man walk.
no, it's not. It's not. I'm sure you would probably understand this, but like Rachel's family has like a healer in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And
She could see ghosts through the phone.
yeah, like she's just one of those people where it's like you know,
She's sensitive to spirits and like all that. Yeah.
So it's like she's done this a couple times where you know, the healer will just go on like FaceTime or whatever and have her kind of go through our place and see if she sees anything. And one night Rachel or she tells Rachel, she's like sit down. So she does. She's like so there's one person in your house that I saw. And we had seats here before we built this whole thing, right? But supposedly he was sitting there in a seat,
Oh,
right?
hell
Right.
no.
And then what she said is as Rachel was kind of moving through the bathroom, she had seen a naked ghost walk into our bedroom.
The fuck?
And we were freaked out. I was like, bro, like, there's a fucking ghost
I feel
in
like
here.
she's capping. Like,
She's capping.
Like, how is she gonna feel and see something
Plot
through a
twist,
phone?
it was just John.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the ghost hunter comes in.
It's coming
and
for
sees her
him,
in
I'm telling
person.
you.
Nah.
Like, you know, the fact that he doesn't believe in this shit, I feel like something's gonna happen to him. Like,
Nah.
To make you believe it.
yeah, to make you believe
Why
it.
does everything happen to you and not to me? I don't get
pray
it.
for it.
Oh.
So you believe.
Uh,
Something's coming for you now.
Nothing has came. Nothing has
No,
came.
but I truly believe in like paranormal stuff, and I always have. One other
I do
weird
too,
story.
but-
No, maybe it's like you don't believe it, but like paranormal shit's actually happening, but you have like that realistic mindset. Like something falls
Yeah.
in front of you, you're like, so windows probably open or
Yeah.
something.
There's a
That's
lot of
true,
people.
that's
No,
true.
he's just a skeptic.
Yeah.
Like he's a total skeptic, and I mean that's fine. But like I believe in what I believe, and you know I've seen some weird ass shit my whole life. Like one story, I think it was probably the first time it happened, but this is during middle school time. And anyways, you know we had
You
one
got
of those.
Grandpa starting on his stories.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of
His
stories.
war-
I
his
told you
war
this.
stories.
I love horror stories. Like once you get me in it, we're gonna keep talking.
Should have a whole podcast episode
That's a good
dedicated to
idea.
Yeah,
it.
sure.
That's
Halloween?
A good idea.
Have,
Yes.
have
Halloween
it dark.
next
Have a
year.
little fire right here.
Yeah, that's a good
little
idea. We
candle.
might have to bring you back for that
Yeah.
one.
Oh my-
Yeah.
I'll be
Alright.
here.
And plus, you know,
Yeah.
we're gonna be adding an extra mic, so we might have another person also joining
yeah.
in. Maybe a real
Horror story.
paranormal expert.
Maybe a real spirit box.
Maybe maybe a ghost guest star.
Yes.
Like we'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, this is
naked
my
man?
homie.
No,
Oh hell
naked man.
no,
Yeah.
no, right next to you.
Oh, shut the
Yeah.
fuck. Shut up.
No, but we might have to do that. That'll probably be on our list for
That'll be dope.
a
That'll be
next Halloween episode. So we're gonna probably have to bring you back for
No,
that.
please
Yeah,
do.
that'd be
We'll
nice.
we'll just tell stories.
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely get more
Scare
into.
the shit out of John.
Nah.
Yeah, no, definitely that
I
episode.
won't even believe it, so you can't scare me.
That episode is gonna be a lot more darker, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
I'm excited for that
That'd
one.
be dope.
Yeah, that's
That'd
gonna
be
be a dope one. But I kind of want to get into a couple last questions. So you know, like what we mentioned is you're still going to school. You're going to
Yes.
school for education, right?
Yes.
Like what kind of education? Are you trying to be a teacher or?
Yeah. So it's an education major right now. I'm specializing in elementary education.
Nice.
Yeah. I just had a brain fart, but eventually I want to also major in history, so I can be a
Oh.
history professor.
Nice.
That's like.
What made you like want to major in that?
I think originally I was a business marketing major,
Okay.
and then I took business. My first day at business calc, I had a panic attack and
Oh, really?
changed my major.
Oh,
Okay.
So I was like, I
on
cannot
the
do
spot?
this. Yeah, he was talking, and I was like, I cannot do this.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm like, hell no. So yeah, and then I changed my major to education because it was just kind of a no-brainer because I love kids, and I
Okay.
kind of had like this natural teaching ability too when it came to working with kids. But then the history major came up because I've always loved history.
Yeah.
Okay.
And later down the road, I'd want to teach like at a higher education level.
No, that's awesome.
I think it's so interesting that like a lot of people and kids in high school, you know, we go through like, oh, I want to finish school, and then they start to major into becoming a teacher and going back into school, and then teaching school for the rest of their lives. So I
Yeah.
always think it's interesting hearing like a somebody who's majoring to be a teacher, like their perspective on like school and why like continuing back.
Why it's
into it.
important.
Yeah,
and
why it's
Yeah.
important and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome though. You know, with you going to school and you're doing modeling, like, which one is it? Like, I know are you going to school just to get the degree, or are you going to school to actually make that your full time, or is it modeling?
Right now, it's pretty 50-50. I'm only a part-time student at the moment, which has
Okay.
worked out perfectly with the modeling because my schedule is like basically completely flexible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my associates after this semester, and I haven't decided quite yet what I'm doing next semester, whether I'm gonna continue to go for my bachelor's or if I'm gonna pause on school and pursue the modeling full time.
Yeah.
Because school will always be there.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think that's something that is not very common that people understand is
Yeah.
you could always go back to
For sure.
school, but pursuing other ventures you know, is always an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially if it takes you somewhere, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're gonna have to forget about school. Like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying like education is not important, because it is. You know, like I was at a point where I hated school. You know, I didn't graduate. I actually went back and got my GED, and then went to film school and graduated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm definitely saying like education is definitely important. But if you already have an opportunity that's gonna take you to the next level, you just got to take it.
Exactly. And I was also thinking, like, do I want to be a teacher
Yeah.
in like the next 2 years? Like,
Right.
what am I going to be, like 22, 23? Do I want to be a teacher now?
Right.
You know, I'd prefer to be a teacher like when I'm older, and like modeling isn't in the cards anymore.
Right.
Like right now, modeling is in the cards. So I want to focus on that, and then I could go and be a
especially
teacher.
if you're like, you know, venturing out and thinking about possibly, you know, going into acting too.
Yeah.
So there's acting classes and
Yeah.
things you have to do to prepare for that. So, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
And like you said, like education can always be there, you know, as you get older, but during your youth and the opportunities that you're presented with, you know, might not be there, you know, in the future. So, yeah. So now that we got into the topic about, you know, outside of modeling, do you have any like other interests and hobbies that you do outside of modeling and teach or going to school for?
Going to school. Honestly, I live a very chill life. Like I only ever hang out with my boyfriend.
Okay.
I read a lot, like all the time. But otherwise, I don't like to party. I don't like to go out. I actually was working at a brand event last night.
I
don't
saw
know if
that.
you
I was
saw
gonna
my
ask you about that.
yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw my stories. It was my first big event since COVID, and there was like over 500 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a panic attack.
Really?
Being
You
in a
did?
crowd of people, yeah, I had to go
Yeah.
upstairs
Yeah.
and like hit my wax pen real quick and be like, I cannot do this.
Oh, damn.
But yeah.
So was it that bad? Is it just because you haven't been around like a big group of people? Like, did you leave or?
No, I had to go back because I was working.
You were working,
So I
okay.
had to go back
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's just in any social settings. Like I don't do good in big crowds, specifically because at this job I had to go up and talk to people, and it was just all.
What
Yeah,
was it
what were you
specifically?
doing?
Okay, it was a launch for a new beauty app that's coming out. So of course all of the guests were all influencers.
Yeah.
So all of the LA influencers were there. And I had to go up and talk to them and approach them and stuff. And it was I had to face a lot of rejection last night.
Really?
Because a lot of them, they weren't there for the app itself, really. They were there, you know, to
Just a
party,
party,
yeah.
and a drinks, and because freaking Bia and Kaylani and Halsey were on the
Headlining.
headlining to perform. So of course all these influencers like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just wanna see
open
that.
bar and
Yeah.
free concert.
So it sounds like from what you're telling us is like you're more of an introverted person.
Yeah. I think what is it? Ambivert is like 50-50. Like you need to recharge alone half of the time, and then the other half of the time like you can be social.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and that's totally fine, because you know he already knows how I am. I'm the same. Like I don't go out and party. I'm more of the type to kind of just do what I need to do for work. You know, because anyways, I got so much going on. You know, that's like literally 90% is all work. And then, you know, the other 10% is pretty much just relaxing and doing what I can, you know, just to relax. And I'm the same way. I don't go to parties too much. I don't go clubbing or anything like that. And I just feel more at ease. It's just, you know, being home, watching movies, being with Rachel,
Yeah.
and, you know, that drinking,
Drinking
which is
all the
bad,
time.
which is bad. But no, like, yeah, I feel the same exact way. You know, I've kind of always been that way.
Yeah.
I've never even been to a strip club. You know, like my friends were always trying to get me to go to
Well,
strip
I mean, it's
clubs.
kind of awkward when you're a grandpa.
I know. I was gonna make an
No,
old person joke too.
Hey, this is during my high school years, okay? So,
Okay, I
yeah.
was like, of
okay.
course you're
No,
like that now
no,
because you know you've
No,
lived a little.
No, like,
Exactly.
you know, even like during
He ready
and
to retire.
during fuck you during and after high school, you know, my friends CJ and stuff, you know, they would try to get me to go, and I'm like, no, bro, like it's just not my thing, you know, and that's just how I am, you know, like I'm not introverted. I'd say I'm introverted when it comes to like partying and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with going to like, you know, house parties and, you know, stuff like that, hanging out with close friends. That's fun for me, but when it goes to like clubbing, that's not my thing. This guy's he's the opposite though. He loves like clubbing and all
I
that
mean,
stuff. So.
I feel like I've had my fun at my younger ages.
Yeah,
But
y'all are old.
hey,
Y'all are kind of
I mean,
old.
I'm not that old.
You're like, I have my fun.
don't put me in the same category.
He's only like 6 or 7 years older than you, so
That's a lot of years.
that is a lot of years.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Not when you put it like that. Yeah. No. I feel old now. But yeah, I've been to, the club, raves, festivals and stuff like that. So it definitely moving down here to LA definitely changed my mindset a lot and how I need to, pursue my career a lot more. I need to take things more seriously because before being back in Seattle, I've had a lot of friends who would include me into their plans, and then I felt kind of obligated. Oh yeah, we're a group of friends, we do everything together, so I got to be there for them. But now moving to LA and focusing on my career is just like, no, I can't really do that. I got a lot of things done, things I need to do in order to get where I want to be, so I can't be partying and stuff like that. But then again, on the flip side, I've been single for too long, so
you hear that, ladies?
Yeah. Yep. If I'm at home, I ain't gonna find anyone editing 24/7, so I have
someone
to
get this man on Tinder.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
I've tried so many times to get him on like dating apps and stuff, but
oh my gosh,
it's a lot of work.
I'm like blocked from all of them.
Oh really?
Yeah. No, it's like not for the reason you think. It's just in high school, like me and my friends would make
Fake ones?
like troll accounts. So I made there was one on Tinder. Not the picture. I put a picture of a blobfish on the thing, and I guess someone reported me, and
Oh, that's fucked
so
up.
now
Just
I could never
that?
make one unless I made a new phone number because they block your phone number.
Oh, okay. So wait, they use your phone number to make accounts?
Yes.
Okay, I've never used an account, so
It makes it more. It makes it harder for you to like keep making accounts.
I guess that makes sense. Okay, yeah, because I thought they would have gone by like, how most places go with emails.
But emails you keep.
That's the thing, you can keep making new emails and stuff like that. So, ladies, we need to get John a girl, so.
Oh
Hit
my
my
gosh, let's
DMs.
do a blind dating podcast episode. You guys should do that.
That's a good idea.
I'm getting you
She's
guys
got a lot of
ideas.
ideas. Damn.
That's
okay.
actually a good idea.
I told you guys I was originally a marketing major.
Hey.
Yeah. But that is a good idea. I might have to think of something with Rachel or something like that. And try to think of an idea, but that.
Well, we need a list of girls first, because that's it. That's the hard part.
Yeah. I mean, you got some friends.
See. All right. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
I'm here for it.
Let's do it.
Get some models.
Oh.
Hey. That'll be perfect. Work-life relationship. Kill two birds with one stone. That'd be nice.
That's facts.
That'd be
He's a
nice.
good dude though. Like
Thanks.
everybody on YouTube, on Spotify, whoever, he's a good dude, and I've known him for almost 10 years, so I would know, But
From the
I wanna
grandpa himself.
Yes.
Trust his word.
So we're getting close to ending this podcast. It's almost 2 hours actually. We're at 1:55 right now, which is crazy, right? Time goes by fast. So we want to know, what are your goals like for the future ahead?
So, like I said earlier, things are kind of up in the air right now. But definitely, I'm still pursuing the modeling, and then hoping to sign with more agencies, with Otto being my mother, and just working a lot. Yeah, and then possibly the acting. I have to make the initiative to do that. That's the thing, is you can say you want to do all these things, but it's you have to make the initiative to do these things.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
So
as long as you keep your mind straight and, travel the path that you're traveling right now, and you continue to just keep grinding, like, you will get there.
Anything
is possible.
See, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew
No,
it was coming.
that's like one of the slogans I always keep to myself, because literally anything is possible as long as you keep your mind on the right path. You can keep doing exactly what you're trying to do as long as you keep it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna get there.
yeah, exactly.
And another thing also too, I was telling him, is like, LA is literally grind city. It is like, and that's what I was telling him. I've never worked so hard in my life until being down here.
No, same.
Like back home, I've worked the same job for 12 years, and it was just work. But that was like one job, right? I'm out here doing so many different things, which keeps me busy. I got full-time job, and I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing music videos. There's so much going on, and it's like I've never worked this hard in my life, but it feels amazing because I know it's gonna go somewhere, and it's already been doing big things.
Yes.
You know, so same goes to you. You know, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. We out here in Grind City.
Hey.
I was gonna be like, thanks, Grandpa.
Yes, Grandpa.
See what
Thank
you
you.
see what you got for
Yeah,
doing
see.
now.
I mean, I feel like it's more appropriate for me to call you that.
I mean, I guess that's
than
fact.
to
No,
John
it's
to
more
call
like
you
great
that.
grandpa. He's my grandpa, and he's your great grandpa.
Okay,
Oh, so-
Okay.
I'm gonna start calling you that now, and everyone's gonna be like, "Why is she calling
I
you
know,
that?"
I know. No, you know what? Because you know our last guest, Alice, she didn't even know I was, you know, in my 30s already, and she was like, "You're lying." I was like, "Everybody says that. Like, I know I look young, but trust me, you know, like I'm about to be in my 40s in a few more years."
Wait,
and
how old are you?
I'm 34.
Oh, my
Yeah, I mean, I
my
told you.
parents are only 4 years older than you.
Ooh.
Damn, that's crazy.
If you think like,
See, that's crazy. Damn. That's why I'm saying, like, by the time I'm
He's old.
by the time
It's
I'm
hitting him.
by the time I'm
It's hitting
40,
him.
no, by the time I'm 40, I'm still gonna probably be looking at my 20s. So, like, I'm still excited.
no,
for
that's
that.
that's the good thing.
Yeah,
that's
that's a
the
good
good
thing.
thing that comes out of all the
Yeah.
grandpa jokes.
But you know what sucks though is still being carded, even though I'm gonna be like in my 40s, like ID.
But once you get in your 30s, that's a compliment.
It
you
is.
know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when
yeah,
someone
yeah.
asks you your car, like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
you think
and
I'm
like I said,
young?"
I don't get offended by it. Like I'm like people can call me grandpa and old, but hey, I still look hella young for my age, you know. So
Facts.
yeah.
That's all that matters.
I mean, that's why we call him grandpa. It's like an inside joke. He's not really. He doesn't really look old. He just is old. You know what I mean?
like it would be mean if he actually looked old.
I
If
mean,
we called him
yeah,
grandpa.
that's what
Like
I'm
that'd be
saying.
mean.
No,
That's
even
what
one
I'm
of his
saying.
coworkers was like, "Why you keep picking on this man?" Like,
Yeah, let
you
him
know?
be old. What's wrong with his age?
Hell
Nothing's
no.
wrong with his age. It's just funny to pick on him.
Hey, you know, it is what it is.
It's because he doesn't look that old,
Yeah, I
even
know.
though he is that old.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've accepted it. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've accepted the nickname Grandpa. Totally fine with
Yes.
me. It's funny too. Anyways, when you know, like he'll post it on his stories. He's like, "Oh, walking my grandpa today."
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
you post that?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Every time we go
That's
location scouting for a
funny.
music video, we're just walking together somewhere. He's like walking in front of me. I just record
That's
walking my grandpa.
Freaking funny.
Hey, I've accepted it, so like it doesn't bother me as much anymore. You know, so it is what it is, and I
Yes.
still
It
love
is
it.
what it is.
Love you too, Grandpa.
Yep. Okay, so you know our show is a lot about inspiration, and you know the reason why we bring people onto our show is we want whoever is in one specific niche to be inspirational to the next generation. So you know you're a model. What advice would you give to people that are trying to get into modeling?
I think the number one thing is just being confident, just not in your appearance, but just in everything that you do and what you say and how you present yourself. Because you could be confident in your looks, but not be confident in your decisions. And you could be easily swayed by people. And it's an industry where, yeah, you can be confident in your looks, but if you're not confident in yourself, that's what really tears you down. It's not even your appearance.
Yeah.
It's your spirit and your being,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it could really be taken away from you in this industry if you're not strong
Yeah.
in the head,
Yeah.
not even appearance wise.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's my biggest tip if you want to go anywhere in this industry just starting out is just to be confident and know who you are.
Yeah.
Because you could easily be like taken advantage of too, and all this, people pulling you into different directions. That's one thing we noticed about living in LA too. Is easy to, get pulled into somebody else's world and benefit them. But what is it really benefiting you at the same time? Yeah. So you have all these people doing their own thing, following their own path, and they bring you along. But what is it really bringing to your path? So I totally understand what you're saying.
No, that's a good answer. Really like that one.
Yeah.
Any shout outs or anything you want to say to our viewers? Spotify, YouTube, whoever.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Dad, because I know he's watching this. It's his birthday today.
Oh,
so
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Pops.
Yeah, I was just FaceTiming him before I got here.
Okay.
He's my number one fan.
That's
he is?
awesome.
He was
Hey.
like, "Is it live?" And I'm like, "No." He was like, "Well, send me the link when it comes
Yep.
out."
Hey.
Yep.
So
We
You'll
will.
see it
here's
soon.
your birthday shout out.
Happy
Hey.
birthday.
Otherwise, in like just my family, my parents specifically for being supportive
Yeah.
in my journey, because especially being an Asian American,
Yeah.
most parents do not support us going into any other path that
Yeah,
doesn't
facts.
involve,
Yeah.
medical fields,
Yeah.
law
We
We
fields,
talked
shit
about
like
that
that.
on another show too.
Yeah,
So
we did.
that's facts though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just thank you to everyone that has contributed to my journey as a model in some way, especially you two for taking photos with me and providing me with these dope photos. So.
We're happy to be here. You know, like I said, I mean, there's still going to be more shoots to come.
Of course.
Right now, we're just so focused on this, but I'm honestly missing shooting photos.
Me too.
And I definitely want to get back to it soon, but you know, we got to do what we got to do and try to get this thing going and get it to where we want to for now. But you know, we will definitely be doing more work in the future, so definitely excited with that. Where can people find you?
Wait, I was like,
she was so into it. Yeah, she was so into it.
No, my first thought in my head was like my house.
Where can people find you on social media?
So Instagram, it's at Seangthea, Seangthea. Obviously, it's going to be linked.
It's going to be linked in the bio. It's going to be linked in the bio.
And basically, that's it. There's TikTok too at Miss C MSSEA.
Guys, you heard that. Go follow her. We're going to link her in the link in the bio. But guys, today was such a good episode. It was fun. Another 2-hour episode. Didn't think it was going to go this far. Yeah, this was crazy. But I feel like, you know, I told Rachel about our last episode. And, you know, she was like, you know, girls just talk a lot. I was like, I think you're right. So I think any female that we're going to have, we're going to expect at least 2 hours.
I think the chemistry is just really a lot better, a lot deeper. You know, we're able to go into deeper conversation, and also seeing a female perspective gives us a lot of more input and questions to ask too. Facts. So I feel like, you know, having a girl guest is definitely a lot different. And
you're the second one.
Yeah, you're on the second one. Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, come on.
All right, guys. We're going to end the episode today, though. But if you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are not subscribed to us on YouTube, it is the Artistry Drop podcast. If you're not following us on Instagram, it's the Artistry Drop. We're on Spotify. We're on all major streaming platforms. So, guys, go follow us on there. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace. Hey, peace.